Hi, welcome to the Celestial Circle podcast. I'm Love.
And I'm Tylin. We're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and healers.
Join us each month as we explore the upcoming transits to see how they will affect you, show up in the world, and in our own personal lives.
We hope that you will find guidance, understanding, and fun as you apply this wisdom to your own life.
And if you'd like us to give you personalized insight, please submit any questions you have on upcoming or current transits to thecelestialcirclepodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at thecelestialcirclepodcast.
The circle is now open. Thanks for listening. Welcome
back
to another Celestial Circle. Sit in the circle, y'all.
We are ready for part 2 of March and all of the astrology, the new year, the astrological new year happening.
Spring equinox.
And then we are out of eclipse season with this new moon on March 18th. So we're going to pick up from March 18th.
Yes, we're going to do a deep dive into this new moon. So it is happening at 28 degrees of Pisces, which is a decan ruled by Mars and corresponds with the 10 of Cups in the tarot. So what I find so fascinating about this decan is that this card is known as the card of happy endings. It's the card of completion, the card of fulfillment and success.
Yes.
And what's so interesting with it being ruled by Mars, it speaks to how happiness, that happy ending, it is something that we consistently take action on.
Yeah.
That happiness here is something that requires the discipline, the focus, the effort, the movement.
The action. Like, you can't just get lucky and have all your wishes met. You have to... It's interesting because Pisces Mars is like seen as like one of the hardest Mars placements to have.
The intuitive warrior, which we talked about on the last episode.
It can feel hard to motivate with that energy. Like, it can feel hard to like be that warrior when you're like connected to everything, even the like suffering and the bad parts. And so people often like, it's like you're like trying to like run in the, you know, when you're running on the beach, like you're just like, oh my God, this is so hard. Like, the water is adding all this resistance for me. But I feel like it's kind of interesting, like with Pisces is connected to everything. So it's like by taking consistent action and putting in effort towards your happiness, towards your desires, that's how you can be deeply connected to them.
Yes. And trust your intuition around what that bigger dream is. Like, that's what Mars and Pisces teaches us, how to trust our instinct, our intuition, and then respond to it to like, make your dreams happen.
Take action even when you're not sure what it is, how it's going to look, how it will pan out, if it's going to be successful. It's like, it doesn't matter because I want this. So I'm still going to like make time, make space for it, cultivate it in some way. What the best I know, to the best of my abilities, however I know now, whatever the choice is in front of me, and it will like eventually get there.
Yes. So again, this is a really important lunation because it is closing the portal for eclipse season, and it's bringing up themes around surrender, around release, around forgiveness, and around spiritual initiation. So the final degree, it's 28 degrees. It's not the final degree.
We've been having a lot of 28 degree lunations. I wrote about this in my Substack. Well, even before, like, the last few new and full moons in 2025. Like, I looked back to just, like, fact check myself when I was writing my Substack, and I was like, wait a minute. And I feel it's almost like, psychically, I feel like we're going through the end of each sign, because it was like other, you know, it was like Sagittarius and other signs like Capricorn at the end of the year, and now we're kind of like back in that eclipse energy of 28 degrees. I don't know, it's like collectively it's like the ending. I just feel like a lot of people feel like when people talk about astrology stuff, it's like after this particular new moon at like 6 p.m, like everything will be different, you know, like it's like some magical like switch is flipped. But by seeing like the 28-degree placements over the past few like new and full moons, it's sort of like the universe is saying, yes, that ending is coming. Yes, that completion is coming. But like, it's not just like one and done. Like, it's like we have to sort through like each chapter, each piece, and get to the ending. Like, it's like we're all reaching the ending at the same time, not like one at a time, if that makes sense.
Yes. And that also makes sense to the vibe of this new moon having that quality of a completion point, a releasing point, but then also an initiation point, a rebirth point.
Yes, it's more of like a checkpoint. It's like, are you stopping, like you're on your marathon and you're stopping and you're getting like your water and you're like, okay, so like I'm halfway done, but I need to like refuel with my water, rehydrate, so that I can do the rest of the half of the marathon.
Yes, 100%. Because that's the Martian piece, right? Of the trusting your instinct, refueling when you need to. So true. And then I also love how this decan, it teaches us about emotional courage, what it means to be the warrior of feelings and the warrior of compassion. Yeah. And that can be
the toughest for a lot of people.
Yes.
People abandon their compassion and empathy, their connection, like first, you know, because the fear, it's like, oh, I need to save myself. I need to protect myself. I don't need to feel what you're feeling. I don't need to know. I don't care about what's going on for you. It's either, you know, kill or be killed. So, but I think like that Pisces Mars is like, no. And collectively we're realizing, no, that mentality hasn't helped us. That's what's kept us in the dark, you know, focus on the wrong things.
Because Pisces is the unity consciousness, and Mars in Pisces understands this so beautifully in their body. Yes. Their body consciousness is attuned to the collective energy.
Yeah. Because really the real tea is like, if you're over here by yourself, like, oh no, I need to do it by myself. I need to like make sure I'm okay and everything. Like, if you zoom out and you talk to other people, you realize, wait, you're going through the same thing as me? Like, you're fighting the same fight as me? You're having the same issues as me? Like, oh, like, that's why we need that collective, like, unity. It's like, we're all fighting for the same thing. Even if it looks slightly different for someone else, we all want safety. We all want happiness. We all want shelter. We all want our needs met. You know, it's like, duh, like if we're connected, then we can all be focused on the prize.
But I see what you're speaking to with the selfish energy that you were sharing about, because this sort of coincides with how Mars rules over the first decan of Aries.
Yeah, so like Mars, I'm gonna win the competition.
Yeah, so Mars like ends the zodiacal wheel with this last decan of Pisces and starts it again with the first decan of Aries. Yeah.
It truly is like the Olympics are right now. It's like, that's what I'm thinking of. It's like that competitor. It's like I reach my goal and I start my new goal. Yeah. You know, like there's no rest. The rest is part of the goal, you know? It's like you just keep going.
But ultimately, we're all looking for what you just said, the belonging, the safety, the soul level family, which is what the 10 of Cups as a card shows us. That soul level connection.
Yeah, the 10 of Cups usually has like happy family with like a house. And, like,
the happy ending card.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very societal norms.
Yes, I'm like, this is not what success looks like to me.
My dream is not to have a child. So.
But that's the beauty of trusting our instinct, trusting our intuition, and following that path of what happiness truly means. What is true happiness? That is really what this Pisces new moon is bringing up. And I was also thinking about how it's this ending of spiritual escapism, especially with Neptune out of Pisces, and the beginning of a new storyline around what it means to be anchored in fulfillment.
Yeah. And it's also interesting because Mars will be in Pisces for this lunation. Yeah. So we have like kind of a double Mars and Pisces piece. Yep. I also feel like with the North Node still being here in Pisces, and it's like conjunct Mercury too. Like,
yeah,
we're still like, this is again, it's not the end point, it's part of the long race. Like, we're still moving through this collective unifying piece. Like, that's really the collective unity piece, is like the North Node in Pisces right now.
Yes. Yeah, so let's drop a little bit deeper into the aspects here. So the new moon is conjunct Neptune, Saturn, and Persephone, but they're all in Aries.
Yeah, because again, very different energy.
Yeah, like, because this new moon is happening at the very end of Pisces, it's so interesting that we have these planets that just entered Aries, all conjunct this new moon.
I feel like the conjunctions from a different sign is just like, I feel like the Pisces is like, whoa, like, what are you doing here? Like, where did you come from? It's like being paired up with someone in like a science class, like, you know, presentation or something, that you're like, please don't pair me up with them. Please don't pair me up with them. And then you get paired up with them. You're like, oh. But I think that, like, sometimes it's kind of cool to have a different energy, you know? Yeah. So it's not like times 11 Pisces, you know? It's like, okay, there's some Aries in here. There's some different energy in here that, like, makes the flavor, like, different than what we're used to.
Yes. I think it's going to be really interesting because the Neptune piece, it's amplifying the mysticism part that Pisces already embodies. Yeah. It's amplifying the psychic sensitivity and also the collective compassion piece. But Saturn is bringing a whole different energy because Saturn is bringing the structured rebirth. Yeah. And Persephone in Aries is bringing that maiden energy emerging from the underworld because she is the goddess of springtime, and here we are about to enter the spring equinox.
Yeah. Which I think like goes well with Saturn, because it's like, she's like, okay, I'm ready to come back to Earth soon. Like, I'm preparing to like make all the flowers bloom and all the things. And like Saturn's like, great, like keep planning, set your, you know, get your ducks in a row, create your structure, create your order as we move into the new year.
Yeah. And what's so interesting with Aries being a sign that is all about passion, right? Neptune with the Saturn, with the Persephone, these archetypal energies, as we're setting our new moon intentions, they're allowing for whatever that dream of fulfillment and happiness is to be anchored into fulfillment, but through our action. Like, this new moon is like, yeah, you can dream about it, but what are you doing to take the action on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't know if y'all listening have had enough time to feel the shift from Neptune and Saturn in Pisces into Aries, but I feel like this moment in time that we're talking about for the new moon, I feel like it's going to feel very clear, like, during this new moon.
Yes. Yeah. So a part of that, I was meditating with the collective psyche energy, finishing the themes with Neptune and Pisces around the illusion, confusion, the like spiritual escapism. So moving from this quality of like, this ideology, this church, this thing is going to save me versus I will save myself. Yes. I will lead. I will take charge. Mm-hmm. I will trust my instinct.
Yeah, because I feel like it's like we sort of had that move from Saturn and Neptune from Pisces into Aries, and then it was like Aquarius season, and then we're like in Pisces season, you know, so it's like now we're like having like Mars and Pisces, like these pieces have been here for a minute, so it's like we still fully haven't left that like Piscean energy. So some people might be like, but wait, I still feel a little delulu, or like I'm still holding on to that piece, you know, especially with Mars and Pisces. It's like, no, I don't want to, you know, like that's not what, I'm not ready to give this up.
So too bad, we're in the new era.
So that's what I feel like this new moon is kind of like, say your goodbye, like let go, just let go of that thing, whatever came up in the eclipse, the full moon eclipse. Like, you need to address that, you need to take that seriously, and you need to like read into like, am I being delusional? Where am I creating too much fantasy? Where am I like dreaming too much and not putting in enough time, effort, planning, etc. I feel like we're sort of like, I don't know, to me it feels like we're like slowly, the universe is like slowly detaching us. It's like, okay, you've been born for like, you know, a day or two, and now we're cutting your like umbilical cord, you know? It's like, okay, that's okay, now I'm like feeling like I'm out of my mother's womb now, you know? Like that's the weird metaphor that I'm getting from spirit right now, is like we're in this like slow motion like birth process of like, okay, and like now we have enough separation that we can, okay, now you can start your own life, now you can like do your things, you know?
But it's so true that this new moon is not just about like setting the intentions and like the new, like we see with some new moons. It does like hold these qualities of release, of like letting that chapter be closed. So,
well, I also feel like any lunation, like after an eclipse, you kind of need that little bit of like, wait, what did I just go through?
100%.
Am I okay? Like, I think the newness is more like, so what am I committing to leaving behind, and like what am I committing to opening up to, and less like I'm gonna get a new job, or like I'm gonna manifest like a new partner, you know? Like I feel like it's more like, I feel like so much because we've had these like 28-degree lunations for the past like few months, it's like so much of like what we're going through is highly connected to the collective. Like I feel like last year when I was like writing my Substacks and like hosting my new and full moon ceremonies, like it felt kind of like, yeah, the collective is going on and you should be like bringing that into your awareness, but like this is a personal piece that you need to go through right now. This is a personal thing. And now I feel like when I was writing my last Substack for the eclipse, it was like all collective stuff. It was like, how are you fitting into the collective? What are you doing with the collective? Like, how are you bringing about the new future? Your future is just as tied to the collective future. If you don't make any moves and connections with the collective future to bring about your future, it's not going to happen. Like, it felt like now we're sort of in this time where it's like, think about everything connected. Like, all that Pisces energy is like, it's all connected. Like, you can't just manifest on your own. You have to acknowledge what's going on now.
Yeah, 100%. Aries brings that feeling, right? Saturn and Neptune in Aries brings that feeling of this is the reality, and what are you doing with it?
Yeah. Like, are you just gonna keep like trying to accumulate wealth while like everyone else is poor? Yeah. Like, that's weird. I literally wrote that in my Substack. I was like, if you make $1 million, why does it matter if your neighbors are homeless? Like, that's this energy I feel.
So another aspect, we have Uranus in Taurus in a sextile to this new moon. Good. So yeah, I mean, this is a revolution of collective values, financial innovation, body autonomy shifts, food system themes with the land and sustainability. Yes. It's like the Pisces,
money as well,
right? It's the financial piece,
cryptocurrency, like all that kind of stuff is tied in there.
Yeah, the Pisces new moon wants to start a new story with these themes. Yeah. So this is a value system rewiring. Yes. I was meditating with how collectively it's like we are so tired of these illusions, these lies that are being fed to us. Yep. We are over, as a collective, having a select group of people hoarding all the resources, what you just said. We want tangible change. Yeah. The collective, we want new ways of building a spiritual community in this physical reality, the actual unity, the actual compassion. Yeah. So this is a beginning of a new kind of spiritual movement. It could
actually feel like it might not even be community. It's just like, we want to have like enough food, enough shelter, enough resources. Yes. Like that is a spiritual component in and of itself. Like if my physical vessel is not being fed, how can I feed my spiritual vessel, my emotional vessel?
It all starts with the root chakra. Yeah. Like that's when people talk about ascension, it's not just about reaching these higher and higher and higher levels of spiritual existence. It's about rooting deep into the earth in your body, so that you are grounded enough to be able to sustain that type of ethereal travel.
Because the people that just like try to ascend without that, they just like have like a lot of cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like they're often like, they don't actually confront any of their shit, and then they think that they are the shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, cool. Like that I feel like if you know that kind of person, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're like, I'm so spiritual. Like, I'm very empathic. Like, I've done a lot of work. I have like, I've had an ego death from my mushroom trip. And then they're like, proceed to like say something really fucking mean to you. And you're like, they're like, that's just the truth, you know? Like, you're like, what the fuck? Who are these people? If you haven't interacted with those people, you're not missing out. Don't try to.
Oh my gosh.
They're not good people.
Yeah.
They just like are part of that like new age spirituality bullshit.
Yeah, well, this is exactly what I'm talking about, like the end of that spiritual bypassing.
Mm-hmm. This
like,
Pisces shift is like, we're done. The Neptune is no longer in Pisces. No more spiritual bypassing.
100%.
We are done with this.
So ultimately, I feel like the Uranus sextile is bringing the embodied sovereignty piece within whatever it is that we're releasing, and then whatever it is that the new chapter is that we're starting.
Yeah.
This new moon is also in a sextile to Hera, Juno, and Capricorn. Mm-hmm. So there's a redefining of our contracts. So Hera and Capricorn is adding this layer around marriage, around karma, around commitment restructuring, and also around like feminine authority within systems. So this lunation is questioning, well, what is sacred union?
Everything's coming up matriarchy.
It is a matriarchy. Did you see that clip about Will Ferrell basically saying like, men are fucking this shit up, we need women to run it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, can we just admit that we fucked it up and we don't get any more chances? Just hand the baton, please. Hand the baton. I mean, everyone's been seeing that with the Olympics. They're like, what was it? Like 60% of the medals won were from women. So like everyone was like, the women dominated this Olympic season.
Yeah.
And there were like some really, really cool stories that I was like reading about it. I just feel like we are kind of in this like kind of mode or movement where people are like, I feel like more people are becoming Will Ferrell. More people are like, the women should be we need to hand it over to the women. Like, why are we still pretending like we know what's going on over here?
Yeah. And Hera and Capricorn gives those vibes, right? Like, that is what she brings in the sign of Capricorn, which relates to institutions and corporations.
It's like, Capricorn, I like to think, is like the daddy of the zodiacs. Yeah. And it's like, the daddy is now the mommy. You know? It's like, with Hera. It's
but
like,
Capricorn energy has always felt very matriarchal to me also, because I always describe Capricorn like the crone wise woman.
Yeah. That's true.
And like that, because
she's like, oh, I've done it, I've lived through it, I've seen it.
And I see Aquarius more as like the daddy side of Saturn, like the masculine, like.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's my.
I always assumed that the daddy was Capricorn because it's like taking action and doing things, because men often like to be like physically active in how they support. And even in our visual that we saw of the matriarchy, we saw like the men were the ones building things. I feel like Aquarius I could also see as a masculine energy too. I never felt it was like feminine, to be honest. But like that being a daddy energy, it's like, I don't know, it's like very philosophical and very like rebellious. And I guess I just don't attribute those qualities to men. I feel it is masculine, but I wouldn't consider it daddy. Like, daddy to me is like pinnacle, like peak. But I also have second house Capricorn, so I'm biased. I love me a good, I value a good Capricorn energy more than an Aquarius energy.
Yeah, I love Capricorn energy. And I love Hera being in Capricorn, being in a sextile to this new moon, because she's also asking, okay, like, what are the power dynamics here that must be restructured? We got to write a new story. Wow. What contracts were built on illusion?
And all these questions that we're talking for the collective, like, you can ask them to yourself as well. Like, where am I doing this in my own life? Where is this showing up in my own life? Because, like how we said, it's all, like, one big mirror, you know? Yes. So it's like whatever you're doing in your life is being mirrored in society and vice versa. So, like, you can pick any start point you want, and then you'll end up where you need to get to.
So we may see, with this particular aspect, leadership shifts, marriage or partnership realignments, and the public exposure of imbalance within institutions, because Hera holds the codes of balance. And we're already starting to see the unraveling of that. So
we have been.
By the time this new moon occurs, let's just see what's going to be rewritten.
I think this process of, like, the shifting of the United States, the more I talk about it with people, the more, like, even psychic people, it feels like it's like everyone wants it to be like a big ol', like, change, like a 180, but it feels like it's already it already was initiated. This new era that everybody's like, where is it? When is it going to be here? It's already initiated. It's already coming.
Neptune moving into Aries.
Yes. It's already happened, and I just feel like it's, like, gonna be like, little by little, these little wins, that add up to big change, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like, a lot of people are like, it doesn't feel like it's gonna be like, and then it's, like, new, you know? So I think with anything, like, think about it, what Spirit is saying right now is, like, when you go to a new year in school, and you're like, yeah, I know, like, I'm still in, like, let's say you were, like, 9th grade or whatever. So you're like, I've done my 8th grade junior high, and I'm still in junior high. Like, I'm not, like, actually, that is when you shift. Just pick, like, a middle, like, you're in 9th grade, and then now you're in 10th grade. Like, you haven't shifted your school, but it is new. You know, it's, like, new classes, new people, new teachers, new friends, new dynamics, new rhythm, like, new schedule, and, like, where you sit and all these things. Like, it's sort of like that, where it's, like, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like, you still have to acclimate to it. You have to figure out where your classes are. You have to, like, spend a couple days in your classes to figure out your routine and, like, how long it takes you to get there and, like, all these things. Like, it's not something that you can just immediately snap your fingers and it's done.
So this new moon is also in a square to Eros in Gemini. So Eros in Gemini is interesting because it represents curiosity, like mental seduction, this, like, fragmented longing. And the square is suggesting that, you know, at the heart of it, we all want the unity piece, the 10 of Cups. We all want the compassion and the fulfillment. But with Eros in Gemini, the mind, the mental energy is wanting options. So collectively, we're questioning then, okay, are we in love with the idea, or are we in love with the person, the path, or just the fantasy of it all? So this can surface as relationship confusion, like split attractions, romantic truth revelations.
I feel even, like, desires for the self. Like, did I want this? Was this just alluring to me? You know, like, do I actually want this life or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, because what is the path of true happiness? That's ultimately what we're asking with this new moon. But Gemini energy says, well, there are multiple paths to it, right? Multiple things can make you happy. But the medicine really here with Eros and Gemini is always going to come back to honest conversation. Get curious with yourself, with the intention that you're setting, with what you're releasing. Get curious, explore. Gemini energy loves that frequency.
Well, and it's like, if you're really tapping into these big picture things of, like, changing a whole dynamic or a relationship or, like, the collective, like, it is important to have options and to not get locked into, like, one way, you know? Like, so I think that Gemini Eros is, like, reminding us, like, look, if maybe you feel like the rug is pulled out from under you and what you anticipated your life being like is not happening, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Like, there's still, like, 3-4 options for paths forward that you love, that you feel good about, that you're invested in. Like, so it's not the end of the world. Like, I feel like having that perspective is really important, because sometimes Pisces can get like in this victim kind of energy of like, oh, well, it's not working out. Like, this thing that I thought would work out didn't work out. Like, fuck me, you know? And it's like, I feel like the Gemini's like, wait. Like, don't you love this more? Like, weren't you upset with this? Like,
did you try this?
Yeah, like it's not the end of the world. Like, there's still a way to make this amazing or positive for you.
Yeah. Yes. And yeah, I want to bring up also too with this lunation the whole Pisces stellium that's happening here, which you already noted a little bit too earlier with the
Mars.
North Node and all that. So they're not conjunct, but they're potent because they're still here in Pisces. So we've got Nessus, we've got Vesta, we've got the Mercury retrograde, we've got Mars, the North Node, and Athena. They're all in Pisces. Yeah. So even if they're not, directly conjunct this lunation, they're still creating this background in the psychic atmospheres. So Nessus and Pisces is the collective healing of abuse cycles, victim savior patterns, and spiritual manipulation.
Wow, that's very on the nose.
Yeah. Vesta in Pisces is devotion to the spiritual flame, sacred service, and it is really like the priestess archetype awakening. Mercury in Pisces is the dream, language, poetry, and revelations through intuition, all happening in the background. Mars in Pisces, again, is the spiritual warrior energy. It's about protecting the vulnerable and acting from compassion. The North Node in Pisces is bringing up the collective destiny to surrender control, develop empathy, and trust in divine flow. And then Athena in Pisces is strategic compassion and wisdom through emotional intelligence. So the collective unconscious, it's very active for this new moon with all of these pieces in the backdrop.
Yeah. I could see this being applied to many things going on in our world right now. Like, I feel like a lot of millennials and female-bodied people are really struggling right now, because it's like our whole childhood, what we were sold and like what was shoved down our throat was like all these Epstein-related like norms. Like they found that like all the, it's like Victoria's Secret, Limited 2, Abercrombie, they were all in the Epstein files, because like the owner of them, in fact, Epstein was owner of Abercrombie or something at one point or something like that, one of those stores. So it's like all the things that you grew, your whole childhood was like basically like be this like little tiny little girl, and like they didn't, those stores didn't make like extra large sizes or things. So I see it sort of like can be put into that lens of like the structure is changing, the dreaming, the connection piece, like what are we connected to in our body, what do we feel, is like we've been taught like this is what a woman is, or like this is what like a sexy body is, or different things. So I could see it be applied to that. I could definitely see it be applied to like literally like our government letting us down and exposing that like literally at every turn they don't want to like collectively make things better. They're like intentionally trying to, like, literally Trump did a press conference about the tariffs and he was like, I'm allowed to destroy the US if I want to. So what? Like, he literally was quoted as like saying that. I'm like barely paraphrasing him. Yeah. And so it's like we're seeing like these people that have no vested interest in
which is
us.
Abusive. It's bringing up the abusive
exactly
qualities.
So that's why I feel like it could be applied for that. Yeah. And then I feel like now that we're seeing this on a collective level being exposed, it's easy to reflect into the people in our life, the players in our life, and see how they're also piggybacking or being a part of that same exact system. Because like so many women are like, sure, yeah, the Epstein files coming out shows all these people are like horrific rapists and pedophiles, but like every other man that I know is exactly like that too. Like they're like, how come every woman has had to deal with sexual assaults in their life? What is that about? So I think we're seeing like, it's kind of weird. I actually love it, and this is the whole point of it, but the big picture is like, they're no longer on this pedestal. And they're being shown like you're just as fucking shitty as everybody else is, has showed themselves to be. Yeah. And you're just as complicit in upholding this harmful system as everybody else is. And I thought, not me personally, but like maybe someone might be like, I thought my government wouldn't do this, or like my government wouldn't want this, or they would be concerned with something else besides like little girls' bodies, you know, like, but nope. So I feel like now that we're seeing, it's like part of the unity is realizing like it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. This issue is systemic. Yes. I think like we've been saying it for a long time. Healers, psychics, people like that have all kind of like tapped into that for so long. Like we help people heal these things out of their bodies. So like we know that it's a systemic issue because like every client fucking has it, right? Like every time I'm doing an energy healing on a female body person, I always sense some kind of something going on in their womb space, you know? Like they all have had something, some relation to it. So I think we're now sort of like having this like quote unquote proof, right? The Neptune moving into Aries. We see the realness. It's like, it's here. Yeah. There's no like conspiracy theory. Oh, you're crazy. It's like, it's real. There's proof. And like, what do we want to do with it? Because now that we know and the veil is being, you know, the blindfold is pulled from our eyes, they're still doing it. Like they're changing, like, what is his name? Bill Gates is like changing our fucking food again. They're going to be spraying like new shit on all of our food and we can't do anything about it. Like, they're still continuing on their agenda.
They're not being held accountable.
Yes.
Or it's like what Trump said, oh, it's sad that they took Prince Andrew into custody. Like, no. Like,
of course he thinks it's sad. That's his pedophile friend.
We need to also
he thinks it's totally okay to do this to people, to treat them this way. So he's like,
people accountable. And like, Mars and Pisces, as an archetypal energy, teaches us that it is compassionate thing to be a warrior for what is divine truth. Yeah.
And these people are far removed from it. They will never be able to get that back. Yeah. I know there's people that believe in the compassionate piece of Pisces of like, maybe they'll get it. No. They've been doing this for so long that there's no coming back from this. That's why he thinks it's sad that someone who intentionally murdered a young child is being held accountable for his crimes. Like, nothing sad about that. What's sad is that poor girl had to die just for his entertainment.
And what's sad is that all of these people that have committed these horrendous crimes are still walking free. Yes. Without being held accountable. Yes. And I think our president is literally one of them.
Yeah. And I think like we talked about the collective grief that everyone is going through. I think that this lunation is a big part of processing that collective grief. Yes. I think it's really going to bring us there. We're really going to feel it in some way, shape, or form. Like, if you open up to it.
Yeah. And the ruler of this lunation is Jupiter, who is exalted in Cancer, who is expanding the feeling state, right? Like, of the feeling of that collective grief. Mm-hmm. It's also expanding the emotional intelligence, the protection of children, of homes, of ancestral healing.
Yeah. Because, and we see that because I think it's trining Mars in Pisces or the North Node in Pisces.
Yeah, but not the actual lunation. No.
So it's going to make it, like, with the Mars, it's like to take action, to have the motivation, to do something about it. Like, it's expanding that part of ourselves. So it's like, oh, I'm connected and I want to do something.
Because ultimately this new moon is about rewriting a story of emotional safety. Because the 10 of Cups promise is fulfilled through nurturance, like not through just staying in the fantasy and not taking any action on what truly happiness means for you. So collectively, we may see a focus on family policy, on housing themes, on the mother archetype rising, and a return to community consciousness. Yeah. Because Cancer archetypally, and especially Jupiter in Cancer, speaks to the fact that like we do as a society belong together but safely with care. And this is where we've got to
be a safe person, then you don't belong.
Exactly, because we have to hold these people accountable.
Because Cancer still has claws, you know? There's still a boundary. If you don't make me feel safe, you're getting the claw.
And ultimately, we are one big family, right? Yeah.
I also do want to acknowledge the other side, the flip side of the coin, the unhealed side of the zodiac stuff. Like, Spirit is also showing me that, like, Pisces is dreamy and delusional and fantasy. And while we are talking about realizing the truth of it all, there's obviously a group of people that are still pro-Trump. That still want to believe in the fantasy, that still want to believe in the delusion, that still want to give credence to this because it makes their lives easier. It stops them from needing to take accountability, whatever the reason is. So Spirit is also acknowledging that if there are people who are trying to live in that reality and double down on this as this system is dying, as we see this, like, sleeping giant, like, dying, not sleeping giant, this giant dying, the Jupiter will still expand that. The Jupiter Cancer will still expand that, right? Because Cancer also rules the past. And we've been seeing this weird trend with, like, the MAGA Republican people being, like, into, like, trad wife. Like, they're doing all these, like, weird traditional, like, trends and, like, virtue signalings and things like that. So I feel like there could still be people, like, doubling down on that and trying to expand into that ideology and trying to bring, like, Erica Kirk is a big example of this, right? Like, I saw a really interesting, because, we covered the Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
I saw a really interesting reel where someone pulled all of the time. So Erica has always wanted to be famous. That has been her goal, because she auditioned for Survivor with another man. She was married before Charlie.
She was on a show.
She was on a show. She was a model. Yeah. She did, like, all these things, like, to keep trying to get famous. So she was, like, acted in this, like, short film or some kind of film or something. So, like, her goal has always been to be famous. So, I mean, look, it's like, I don't want to tell her good job because she did it, but, like, she did it, right? Anyways, I feel like it's, like, that kind of thing where it's, like, there's still people that have the capacity for that and are still going to push their agenda and they're still trying to see, like, just because we see, like, the cracks exposing the truth doesn't mean we can't, it's not a good foundation still, like, I feel like there's people that are still going to be like, I'm not ready to let go for whatever reason. And I'm going to keep trying to, like, drag this dead horse through the mud with me. And it's just like, dude.
Well,
like,
this is exactly what we talked about before with people aligning their spiritual identity with these identity structures that they can't separate themselves from.
And I just feel like it's going to be harder and harder to do it with with Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries. So, like, over the next 3 years, people are just going to be going through a rude motherfucking awakening. A rude awakening. Like, and Aries rules the head. So, like, if you're not listening to what Saturn has to say in whatever house you have Aries in, expect a headache. Expect a head injury. Expect sinus problems. Expect blurry vision. Like, whatever it is, right? Like, Saturn is, like, no joke about this. So I fear the people who are doubling down, they're going to get something, or, like, maybe they get brain damage or something. I don't know. But, like, I feel like Saturn is like, I'm tired of putting up with this. Like, you're playing around and you're not getting it, Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Are we ready to move through the rising signs? Do you think we can do it in, like, 40 minutes? Because I got another booking.
Oh,
do you think we can? Let's try it. And if we can't,
do you want to, like, hop and take turns on each house? I can.
We'll have to come back. Okay, so Aries rising. This new moon is happening in your 12th house. So this is the temple of the unseen. It is your karmic clearing moon. So there is a dissolving happening around subconscious fears, around any old self-sabotage behaviors, themes around spiritual exhaustion or grief, right? Grief that has been just hidden in the background of the subconscious. So Saturn, Neptune, and Persephone, for you, Aries rising, they're all in your first house, which is indicating that you are stepping into a new identity cycle. But this new moon is asking you to surrender the process of simply just existing, just being, right? Because Aries medicine trusts instinct. So this new moon is asking you to surrender to the process of just existing, just being.
Let those like subconscious pieces come through. Don't fight them. Don't try and be or do. You just like surrender and let it come, like rise to the surface.
So this new moon intention for you is to release the version of yourself that is operating in survival mode. Because it's time to really thrive, especially thrive in what true happiness means for you.
Yes. And something that's coming through is like survival for like others. Like, oh, my mom wants me to do this, or like my family culture tells me I need to do this so that I can like survive my family dynamic. Like it feels something related to that to me.
Yes. Interesting. That feels like it's aligned with this next piece around, I was meditating with Aries rising with the Saturn, especially Saturn piece in your first house, stepping into a deeper embodied sense of leadership. And when you're truly anchored in that, it's easy for you then to be able to navigate, okay, is this for someone else, or is this for like the truth of my soul?
Well, and also like Aries energy is like, oh, okay, so you set up like the plan, you set up the strategy like from like your dad or from whoever in your family. It's like, I can just keep doing that. Like, that's great. Like, now I know how to succeed.
Yeah.
But then it's like now having the boldness to be like, do I want to detach from that? And do I want to create my own? That's where the scary piece is.
Yes. So the guidance for you, Aries rising, for this Pisces new moon is to take some time alone, some time in solitude, have a nice salt bath, do some dream journaling. And I was also meditating on, because this is such karmic clearing energy, what it means to have forgiveness, to forgive someone in that space of solitude. So it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily say it to their face. Or even it could be yourself, forgiving yourself too.
Yeah.
So
I'm also seeing like music, because it's like a subconscious piece. Like, put on music that feels Pisces to you, you know, so you can connect to that part of yourself. So you can like bring forward that vibe or that energy that you feel is hard to unlock sometimes for you.
Yes. Taurus rising. So this new moon for you, Taurus rising, is happening in your 11th house, the temple of sacred community. So this Pisces new moon is about soul community. It's about future visions. It's around group belonging and spiritual networks. So are your communities aligned with your values? Uranus has been transiting your first house, Taurus rising.
I also feel like there's this feeling of like the Taurus rising people are like the rocks for other people in their life, especially with this like 11th house piece. So it's like maybe you can be open a little bit more and share how you have cultivated this community, how you have moved through these things before. Because I don't know, I just feel like there's some wisdom that you can share with your community. Like maybe you just need to help out your friends, you know, your community through this time.
Or there's a shifting happening with like who your true community is, because I was writing about that for the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because for you Taurus rising, that is happening through your 11th house, and Taurus rising people, well, they also have a tendency to just be so loyal. Yeah. But is it loyal for the aligned reasons? Yeah. Like, are you choosing that loyalty?
Just because you have 5 years doesn't mean that this person has your best interests at heart.
Yeah, just because it's comfortable, are you choosing loyalty because there's a true resonance there? Yeah. So, I agree. Yeah, so I was going to say, so for you Taurus rising, Uranus has been transiting through your first house. So you've already been in this like complete
that's why I was like, you have wisdom to share with others.
No, I was just meditating on this with Josh, because when we first started dating, he didn't have Uranus moving through his first house, and for a really long time, like 7 years, he's had Uranus in his first house.
He's been changing.
And he's completely reinvented himself.
I feel I have a lot of Taurus rising friends, and they've also, and like clients, and they've had that too.
Yes. Which is a vibe, right? Because Uranus as an archetypal energy is like, are you authentic? Are you being authentic?
I also feel like it's like a really like positive piece because Taurus is like stubborn and slow moving and doesn't want to change, and Uranus is like, let's do it right now, yes. Like random, like sucks is gonna change. So I feel like they've if you're listening throughout these past 7 years, you've really done it. Like you've really changed
100%, and because you've been reinventing yourself with this new moon, your friendships are evolving too. Mm-hmm. So Saturn also taught you this, spending 3 fucking years in your Pisces 11th house. Yeah. So now it's time to set a new cycle, right? With everything that you've learned.
Yeah. The people that have survived, hopefully you can trust them by now, but if not, keep going.
Well, your intention for this new moon is to align with communities that honor your authentic evolution.
Yeah.
So your guidance for this new moon is to be in community and to reach out to someone that holds the vision of a place where you're seeking to go in life. So someone who reflects a future version of yourself, and maybe you receive guidance, maybe you receive mentorship, maybe you're just aligning yourself in those communities with those activities that bring you closer and closer to whatever that vision is that you have for yourself.
Like do a little ritual with your friends, or like bring some people to like a ritual that someone's hosting or something like that.
Yeah. Or if like you want to be skilled at writing, right? But you don't hang out with any writers.
Like join a writing community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's going to support you.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Love it. Gemini rising. This is a big one for you, Gemini rising. So sit in the circle. This is happening in your 10th house, the temple of your public calling. Mm-hmm. So your career, your public identity.
Shifting.
Dissolving and reforming.
Yeah.
So the question is like.
And don't be scared. Let it.
Right? Like,
my sister is a Gemini rising. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. It's like, are you chasing visibility, or are you embodying your deeper soul mission? And Eros and Gemini is transiting through your first house right now, so this square is creating a tension. Are we still recording?
No. Your instance of distillers business. Oh, we are still wait, no? Yes, we are still recording. I don't know what that means. I think we should just keep recording.
Okay, we can go back and edit
everyone.
It. So, the square with Eros and Gemini being transiting through your first house is creating this tension between personal desire versus public responsibility. So how can your natural curiosities be infused in the work that you do out in the world?
I'm hearing the song Freak Like Me. I think it's just called Freak by Doja Cat. And it's like you need to share those like quirky, freaky, weird parts of yourself.
Oh my gosh, there is a song called Freak Like Me by Trans Violet. It's a vibe. Definitely
not talking about that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think for y'all, it's like now that you've gotten to a certain place in your career, like can you allow yourself to like let the next iteration just be more authentically you, right?
100%.
How can you be connected if you're not connecting to like that deep true part of yourself? Because I feel like there's so much that Gemini risings have underneath, but it's that chameleon sign. So it's like, oh, if it's not the space for it, I won't share it. Or like, if that's not the vibe that's going on, like I'll just match with whatever the vibe is that's going on. And I feel like you're being called to like, just do it. Just be it.
Yeah.
Like just put it out there.
Yes. Pisces is your 10th house.
Yeah.
So your career...
You were never normal to begin with, babe.
Yeah. I mean, your higher calling...
You're supposed to be an artist. You're supposed to be a creative. You're supposed to use your creativity, your uniqueness, your connection, your compassion for these things, you know? Yes. Like, don't separate them out. Don't only have them at home. And that's what my sister does. Because she works in finance, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this new moon could maybe create a new cycle for her.
Yeah.
Because really, this new moon intention for you Gemini risings is to step into soul-led leadership and true purpose recognition.
She is a very compassionate leader, though. Her team loves her because of that. Like, she feels bad doing things for people. Like, you know, oh, you're going to be fired. Like, she feels bad, you know, like that kind of stuff.
So your guidance for this Pisces new moon Gemini rising is to write down what legacy means to you. What do you want to be known for? Mm-hmm. What do you want to be recognized for?
And what blocks are stopping you, you know, from doing that? What fear, what belief, what conditioning?
Yes. Cancer rising. Frankie. This Pisces new moon is happening in your 9th house, the temple of higher consciousness. So your worldview is ending and beginning at the same time. This new moon is asking you, what spiritual beliefs have you outgrown? What spiritual beliefs do you feel called to study? What is your relationship with divinity? With Jupiter exalted in a very strong position in your 1st house, Cancer rising, I want you to know you are protected, but you are also being called into a more profound connection with magic, synchronicities, and true abundance.
Yeah. I think, like, this 9th house, it's, like, it's helping you, like, I'm seeing it, because, you know, Cancer can be a little stubborn as well, to open up, and this Jupiter transit has been opening you up. You have been shifting in who you are, and maybe you haven't done that in a long time, it feels.
Yeah.
And then, like, with this 9th house piece, it's like, you're maybe feeling like you want to connect to other parts of the world, other philosophies, other belief systems, like, and either try them or open up to them, or, like, yeah, because it's like water sign, you know? Yeah. It's like we're connecting to it in some, like, water sign way, I feel. Maybe you're inspired by something, or you're, like, trying something that you were a little afraid to do. Like, I don't know. I see it as, like fashion or food or culture, like those 9th house themes to me, about, like, stepping into that. Like, make it tangible, I guess, for you. Like, if I try on, Jinx, you have a lot to say during this time, huh? I know, I can tell. Like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking about, like, Frankie and how, like, he wants to, like, try on these, like, traditionally cultural outfits, but, like, then he gets, like, self-conscious, and he's like, can I rock it? Like, will I be able to pull it off? And it's like, do it. Like, doing this, like, it feels like something physical to, like, embody what, like, the philosophical change or thought might be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because Jupiter's in the 1st house.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like you're really trying to, like, expand it, like, but through yourself, through like how you're expressing yourself to the world.
Yeah.
So, like, pick something, like, if you have, like, a big aha thing, like, pick something tangible that can, like, anchor that down for you, that can, like, help you expand into it.
Yes. And your new moon intention also is to surrender any outdated beliefs and open to deeper spiritual wisdom. So study something sacred. And with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, I was reflecting on, for Cancer risings, how you might have been drawn to a particular book or spiritual teacher in the past, but maybe at the time your consciousness level, like, wasn't able to integrate it, and so you just put it on the shelf and you didn't look at it, and now is the time to revisit these spiritual teachings.
I'm just laughing because Frankie's been reading a biography on Che, and he's had the biography for a long time, and then he started reading it in 2025, and now he's, like, really getting into it. So when you're talking about that, I'm, like, laughing. I'm like, astrology is real, y'all.
It's so true. But it's interesting when we trust our intuition and we feel drawn to something, but our consciousness isn't able to grasp it at that time, but we will circle back to it.
Yeah, he's had so many synchronicities as he's reading, and he's, like, not even halfway through. He's like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, it really does feel like for Cancer risings, because this Mercury retrograde is such a magical portal opening, that there's a lot of revelations happening.
Yes.
Connections
in such a
to
short
divinity.
amount of time.
And it's also, for you Cancer risings, an intention for this new moon is to release belief systems that do not resonate. Let them go. Expand your worldview. Yeah. Leo rising, this Pisces new moon is happening in your 8th house, the temple of energy exchange. So this new moon is intense alchemy for you, Leo rising.
Yeah, like an energy healing.
Ooh.
Do like a ritual bath or something. Damn.
Yeah. The themes for this Pisces new moon for you are deeper levels of intimacy, shared finances, sexual healing, and a deeper understanding of energy exchange, power dynamics. Yeah. So this new moon is exposing any illusion in entanglements, and it initiates a new cycle of transformation. So the intention for this new moon is to release karmic contracts rooted in fantasy or fear. Yeah. And the guidance for you, Leo rising, is to do a cord cutting ritual, to have an honest conversation about the shared energy, the shared resources.
I keep seeing like planning out a sexual ritual where it's like, I'm going to embody this fantasy for the last time, and then I'm going to give myself permission to like transform, to like let it go. Like it feels like something like performative or initiatory in that way, where it's like, I feel like I can embody this energy so that I could get the last little message that I need from it and then let it go.
Yeah. Release.
Yeah.
Virgo rising. This Pisces new moon is a big one for you. So sit in the circle, Virgo rising.
Oh, yeah.
This is happening in your 7th house, the temple of sacred union. So relationships for you, Virgo rising, are under karmic evaluation. The 10 of Cups is the frequency that, again, is anchored in emotional fulfillment, but we can only receive that, again, if we're taking the action and we're allowing any delusions around a fantasized version of love to dissolve. So this new moon is asking you, are you in love with the idea of a person, place, or thing? Or are you in love with the reality of the situation?
Yes. And like, where have your belief systems in what a relationship should be or is or should feel like or whatever, where were they real and where were they like fantasy, delulu? Yes. Where were they somebody else's dream, somebody else's conditioning, and where is it yours? Like, it really feels like you're also learning, like, it's like the 1st and 7th house is like me, we, right? So like you're getting that kind of like work and reflection of like me versus we. Like, is my fantasy making space for the real me? Is myself making space for the real relationship? Like, vice versa type of piece. Like, where's the lie, right? Where's the delulu? Where am I stopping myself? Where am I dreaming but not anchoring, right? Like those kind of themes for sure.
So then the new moon intention then is to call in devotional relationships that are rooted in actual truth.
And alignment. I feel like alignment is so, like, I keep hearing that word over and over, like ringing like a bell. It's like alignment. So I feel like for you, it's like whatever I'm choosing, it has to feel aligned.
Yes. And it's a rewriting of relationship standards anyways with Mercury retrograde in Pisces. There's a lot of reflection on relationship dynamics.
And Spirit is showing you might have like, I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. I don't know what I want in my long-term relationship because I've never experienced it yet. Then trust the knowing, right? Like, trust the instinctual pieces, trust the desire, like, go back, uncover beyond, like, underneath all the conditioning, like, what did you always want? What do you value? If you look back at all your relationships, what do you always see as like the constant truth here? That's the truth, right? Like, that can help you anchor.
Yes. Libra rising. So this Pisces new moon, I love that she's a Libra rising. This Pisces new moon is happening in the 6th house for you, the temple of sacred service. So your work, your wellness routines, your daily rituals, they are being purified with this Pisces new moon. So I was meditating for a lot of Libra risings, how they might just feel tired, just feel exhausted. But this is information, right? So the moon is asking you, okay, well, where are you overgiving?
Yeah.
What habits, what new rituals what could be supportive for you to infuse in your daily life to give you that boost of vitality?
What routines or rituals do you want to be connected to, right? With Pisces. Yes. What do you want to keep opening up to and buying into, and which ones aren't helping you? Like, I'm seeing it more as like the logic behind the thing. Like, maybe you do this thing because it was trending and everybody said to do it, and it's the new healthy thing, but then if you research it, then you're like, wait, what? Why was I doing that? Like, there's not really any science behind this, or like, there's a more efficient way to do this, or like, it feels like you're sort of like uncovering the truth of like those types of pieces of like what is important and what is actually going to help me and set me up for success. I'm also seeing people maybe quitting their job. I think people are like, fuck this shit. Like, why am I showing up every day for this bitch? Maybe I thought I would get a promotion or something, and it's clear that I'm not, you know? Like, that's the delulu that you're seeing the truth in, and you're like, this isn't making me happy. Like, I think about, like, when I worked in downtown LA and I lived in the Valley, and it's like, is commuting an hour and a half each way twice a day making me happy? Hell no. Like, then I need to quit this job, you know? Like, it feels like you might be having those kind of rude awakenings. Yes. And then I just feel, because you have Pisces there, there's, like, this, like, well, but my clients love me. Oh, the customers are going to be so bad, you know, like upset if I leave. And it's like, girl, the customers are not paying you for your happiness. They're not paying you enough money for that shit. You got to go where your happiness is.
Yeah, 100%. And also where true service is in alignment for you.
Yeah. Which that one's harder in capitalism.
Yeah.
Because you probably do want to be a creative or some kind, you know, like you want to do, and then it's like, that's not practical. How do you make money doing that? You know, so, yeah.
But it also feels like a very intuitive place to have, like the wellness rituals, routines, service. Yeah. So it is, I mean, also an invitation to trust your intuition with how you can make it sustainable.
Yeah, maybe like you fold in spell work or ritual work into your routines. Yeah. Like every time, you know, when I make my coffee, I put cinnamon in it to have grounding and abundance. It's like, you can just do that. You know? Like, you don't need to always, like, I'm not sure how to be a creative. It's like, fucking cultivate the energy. It'll happen.
Yeah, it is in the little things that we do on a day-to-day basis, and that's exactly what the sixth house is. It's the mundane realm.
Yeah.
So the guidance for you, Libra rising, for this Pisces new moon is to reorganize your schedule so that there is time for the rest, there is time for the play, there is time for the artistic creation. And I was meditating with, okay, how can you just protect like 1 hour for yourself? And if you can't do 1 hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Start somewhere. A minute. I'm going to draw a silly thing for a minute.
Yep.
That's going to start somewhere. It's more than a minute more than what you did before.
Yes. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll have to close the circle. I knew we wouldn't be able to finish all of them. We just get so into it. Yeah. So this one,
I'm glad you got a reading, but I'm like, now I have to record 3 times. Or a service.
Scorpio rising. So Scorpio rising, this Pisces new moon is happening in your 5th house, the temple of your creativity. So your joy is being reborn here. Romance, art, pleasure, children, like these are all themes of this lunation.
Your desires.
And the square to arrow, speaking of desire, in your 8th house may reveal split desires or creative tension, but this new moon is really an opportunity to start a new cycle with your relationship to pleasure. So your new moon intention is to create. This is why I said when we were going through the Virgo eclipse, I said, we're going to come back to you, Scorpio rising, because you said the same thing, like the create from the ability to just be in that flow state without having to ever show it to anyone. That's what I was meditating on for you, Scorpio rising, like to be a creatrix, to create from emotional truth, and the guidance being to create art to make art, to be in this artistic flow without the pressure of having to even show it to anyone. And if you want to, that's beautiful, because that's how we change the world, is through art, because art is what allows us to feel, and that's how we heal, is through the feeling. But if you don't want to show it to anyone, don't. Just create. That's my guidance for you, Scorpio rising.
Yeah, I feel like I was getting the same thing, but in a slightly different message. Like, it was kind of like, I was feeling like a lot of the Scorpios maybe have decided things are one way, or chosen to believe in whatever their desires, or however they allow their passion and creativity to come through based on external. Mm-hmm. And I was getting that, like, you have to confront the, like, comfortability of, like, fitting into some external system that, you know, like, it will be well received because it's whatever the norm is, and just, like, look underneath that for, like, what is actually me, though. Like, am I just doing this because I know, like, people will be into it, or they asked me to do it, or there's a level of safety because I know it won't be criticized or in a negative way or something like that. But it's like, is it my truth? Is it actually, like, what I want to make, what I desire? Like, I feel like sometimes Scorpios can get really locked in, and they can be like, I'm going to do this even harder because you said I can't, you know, because it's ruled by Mars. So I feel like it's like, whoa, let's pause. Like, is revenge the motivation? Like, is that actually what your most important thing is in this lifetime? Is that what you actually desire to have a bunch of, an abundance of? Or is it something else, you know? Yeah. So I was getting that too, like a removing of external, like getting rid of all the external pieces.
Yeah, so you can be in your pleasure, Scorpio rising.
Yeah.
And playfulness.
Yeah.
And again, this Mercury retrograde period is such a magical portal opening for you to just be in that whimsy. Like, in that...
Like a Tim Burton movie, Goth Whimsy.
It does feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in Edward Scissorhands, you know? Like, what do you want to shape your tree into?
It's such a vibe, Scorpio rising. I love it for y'all.
Yeah. I think this is going to be, like, a really fun time for you if you let it be fun, because Scorpios can get just locked into the forcing themselves to do shit that they don't want to do.
Yes. So we've got a lot more to cover. So we'll come back to the circle for houses. Sag rising through Pisces rising. We're going to also talk about the spring equinox, the sun moving into Aries, Mercury direct, Saturn sextile Pluto. Ooh, that's going to be a vibe. Hera's moving into Aquarius. We got a lot to talk about there. And Venus returning to her home sign of Taurus. Oh, gonna be lovely. So we're gonna have a lot more. We have a lot more to talk about. March is rich, y'all.
Rich. I'm rich, bitch. I love it. Hello, we are back. We're gonna be wrapping up the horoscopes.
March is a big month, so make sure y'all are sitting in the circle.
Your tea.
Yeah, your coffee.
Your deep breath.
Yes. Sit in the circle, because we've got a lot to get into.
Yeah, Jinx has her own whole horoscope. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she does. We already went over your horoscope, Jinx. Sorry.
She's like, treats you should eat based on your rising sign.
So yeah, we're gonna dive in right where we left off with the Sag rising for the Pisces new moon. But before we get into it, we just wanted to make sure, if y'all haven't entered our giveaway, please do. It's so easy to enter. Just go to our post that says giveaway in big bold letters so you'll see it. And it's super easy to enter, and you could win a free astrology reading.
Yes, actually 2 people will win a free astrology reading. So you have like double the chance of winning.
Yes.
And you'll either get an astrology reading from me or from Thailand. And it's on your birth chart, your natal chart, whatever you refer to it as. And I've seen some people like wanting to win for others. You could also do that as well. If you win, you're like, here, my sister, like, if you already know your chart, that's totally cool.
And we are doing this giveaway to celebrate the launch of our Celestial Circle Mystery School. Yay! So this is going to be such a vibe. We are cultivating a space that blends together astrology education, tarot education, wisdom on the chakras, the tree of life, angelic frequencies, as well as live healing activations. So it's not just education. There's a space to embody this wisdom and to receive healing through it. And then the juicy part of the Celestial Circle Mystery School is that we're going to be doing live readings. Yeah. So you get 2 professionals looking at your chart, which is so valuable.
Yeah, because we have vastly different like styles of reading, vastly different training. It's going to be like very multidisciplinary. Like you're not just getting one person and their constant like viewpoint. You're getting multiple viewpoints, multiple perspectives and schools of thought, which makes something more well-rounded and holistic.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I've been loving really getting into the curriculum for this because really my practice is so holistic. It's not just astrology. Like if you've ever done an astrology reading with me, you leave knowing your tarot ascendant card. Like that is so valuable to have an image and an archetypal frequency to work with. Yeah. Do you remember yours?
My tarot ascendant card?
Yeah.
You said it's a 7 of Swords, right?
No. What? That's an Aquarius card.
I remember I got that a bunch of time in the tarot and tea, and that's what I'm thinking of. No.
Okay. Well, it'll be a mystery.
It's whatever your fucking moon one is. It's like shit. Yeah.
Mine, no surprise here. The 8 of Cups.
Everyone's like, girl, I don't know what tarot is. They're like, that means nothing to me.
This is exactly why y'all should come into the Celestial Circle Mystery School. Like, sit in the circle.
Tylen has like her training with astrology, ties a lot of tarot. She's been channeling a lot with the angels and astrology.
Which is something that like is very mystery school. People don't talk about the angelic frequencies.
Yes.
With astrology.
And then my training is more like, I do a lot around like the body, like how you express, how you feel things in the body based on the signs. I have a lot of intuitive stuff. So like I'm just looking at your chart and then like spirit is like this and this and this and this comes up. So I get like metaphors and kind of like past life stuff will come up a lot for me in the reading. So very different. And a lot of like pop culture, like my brain just thinks on like pop culture references and things like that. So
I know. I think I said in one of our marketing videos that I feel like I am the like lecture type teacher.
Yes, like the traditional learning.
And you're like the fun teacher.
Yes, I'm like hands on. Let's get our fingers dirty. But that's because like our human design, like you're a 1/4, so the 1 lines are all about learning in a traditional environment, deep diving, really like certification, knowledge, expansion. And then I'm a 3/5, so the 3 lines are all about learn as you go, like hands-on, like get in there, get your hands dirty. So I really like it because I feel like it's like 3D learning. Like it's not just going to be like studying from a book or watching a video. It's going to be like, you know, how do you apply this to your own life, which makes it easier for you to remember, because there's like a frame of reference that you're building on. That's how I like to teach, is like, that's why I like to use pop culture, because it's like something I already know that I can map, because that's how our brain works. We map to things that we already know. That's why we like to categorize things.
Yes.
And then we're gonna have like the meditation and activation. So it's like you connecting to your own inner wisdom and getting knowledge and information from that, which is kind of cool.
And healing from us while we do that.
Yeah, removing any fears or blocks or whatever is in the way. And then I'm gonna be creating like the PowerPoints and things, so there'll be like visual if you're more of like a visual learner. So there'll be just I as someone with ADHD, I have become acutely aware when I teach people, like, you need to meet them where they're at. You can't just be like, well, why aren't you learning my stuff? Like, why don't you get it? And it's like everyone learns differently. There's like 4 different learning styles, so I like to incorporate a lot. So that's why I feel like it's like 3D learning, because like our mystery school is going to have like all of the learning styles available. And we're even going to create like additional like workbooks and journals and things so that like on your own, if you want to do extra credit, you know, homework, you can get that self-paced learning or expanding on what was covered in the class. And it's going to be recorded, so then you can listen to it, let's say like 2 years from now, you want to come back and like you have a different framework and understanding and you want to like re-deepen into it. Maybe there's something else that you pick up from, you know, the curriculum that you're like, oh, last time I was really focused on this and this time I can really look at it this way. So like the goal is to know yourself on a deep level. And not to be like, oh, shoot, what? An astrologer told me, like, what my big 3 is. Like, you're like, no, bitch, I know what my chart is. But also, like, if you want to start reading for others, this is going to be a great learning tool. Like, you can leave this program and be like, I know how to read an astrology chart. Like, show me your astrology chart and I'll be able to learn and be able to, like, get in there. And then also, like, for transits, right? Like, you'll be able to be so familiar that you can be like, oh, like what's going on in the sky right now and how is it going to affect me or my partner, my sister, my dog, you know, like you'll be able to apply it in multi-levels. And also it's just cool to like, a lot of people feel like there's a disconnection, lack of community, not enough spiritual community. I always hear that in all my events that I host. So like this will be like a cool container where you can sit with people for over time and have that space to talk about spiritual things and to ask those questions. So
And it's fun because you can join in a multitude of ways. So you can join as a celestial star and you get priority on the live readings, or you can just drop into any of the circles.
So you can do the whole thing, or like pick and choose which ones. Like let's say you're like, I don't know, I'm pretty decent, but I want to learn more about like my moon placement, or I want to learn more about like this planet, you know, like you can drop into that class particularly.
100%. And there is so much value in having two different teachers. Like I remember for my massage therapy program, which was 10 years ago. That's crazy. I graduated in May of 2016. I had one teacher who was all about the spiritual side of doing body work. Like she's the reason why I don't wear shoes when I do my practice and why I protect my energy and I ground. And then I had another teacher who was all about the books. Like she was all about anatomy, very science-based heavy. And it was beautiful to have that full, well-rounded, and two teachers. To develop my career.
You're not going to get that. Most online schools just invite people in. I don't know. I think it's cool to have it every single time.
100%.
Jinx. Jinx might be there. Who knows? You'll have a third
She'll
teacher.
Always be there.
She's like, I'm a Libra Wising. I'm all three of the air signs.
She's
Aquarius, Sun, Gemini,
sign.
Moon, Libra Rising.
She loves that we changed our podcast to be on the couch.
She does. She's like, I could be fucking pet the whole time. She's like, you be here for like 3 hours.
Anytime I'm here, she's like, oh, Reiki, yay. Massage me. She has so much tension here. She gets little massages.
She's like front half heavy for sure. She puts a lot on her front legs.
Cool. So join the Celestial Circle Mystery School. We would love to have you and enter the giveaway.
Like at least, come on, man, at least enter. It's a free, like, chart reading. Even if you've had your chart read, having your chart read by different people with, like, how we're talking about our different backgrounds, our different abilities, our different perspective, it's going to give you, like, some new outlook about yourself.
Yes, 100%. All right, so we're ready to dive back into this wild month of March, because there's a lot happening. All right, so let's go to Sag Rising, which I told you were going to love what I wrote for the Pisces new moon, because we talked about it, I think, at the beginning of March, where you were talking about the Neptune piece leaving your fourth house. Okay, so Sag Risings. This Pisces new moon is happening in your fourth house, the temple of foundational roots. So for you, Sag Risings, this is the home of ancestral waters. So the themes are around family healing, home shifts, emotional foundational work, and also inner child work. So Jupiter, who is your chart ruler, is in your Cancer 8th house, which is creating this deeply protective and transformational energy around you and in your field. And what I feel like would be really supportive for you, Sag risings, for your Pisces new moon intention is to forgive anything in the past and to build a safe, because Jupiter is inviting in transformation, right, for you. So if you can access that forgiveness and really build safety in your home and your roots. And what I was thinking for guidance for this new moon is to cook some ancestral food and to clean your home intentionally.
Yeah, organizing.
So, yeah.
I also want to say too, because it is like the home of the ancestors, whatever you might be healing or being called to like transform that you were talking about with Jupiter, it could be like a generational piece, right? Like you might be listening to this and be like, my relationship with my family members is perfectly fine. Like, I know where I stand with all my family members, but maybe there's like a pattern from your family, from your ancestors, something that like you were born into that maybe you just always kind of like interacted with, but maybe never questioned, or like, I don't know, like sometimes with generational stuff, it's like, it's just always been there. Like I never, like I don't have like a moment where I know that this belief came or this wound came.
Yeah. It's subconscious sometimes.
Yeah. So try and think about that as well. Like maybe this moon is a time for you to like uproot some of those pieces and like put new ones that are healthier or better. Yes. So like choosing differently than maybe what your lived experience or your family's lived experience has been. Yeah I do feel the home space stuff too. The home space stuff feels pretty pertinent too to me.
Yes. Yeah, because it's a moon, like we talked about, that embodies both the releasing qualities as well as starting a new cycle.
Yeah. Also thinking about what they're showing is like thinking about the home as like your community space, right? So it's like, where do you live, right? Your immediate community. And can you like deepen into that as well, right? Like maybe you give like a little offering for the land and like have a deeper connection with the land that you live on. Because it feels like very, like with Pisces, it's like we're connected to everything, right? So it's like, how can I connect with this roots, literally the ground underneath me, and have that like experience of like transforming or healing or feeling deeply connected to it or whatever it is that you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sag risings, really this is ultimately your invitation to release anything that is keeping you from the frequency of safety and create a new cycle for yourself around what it means to have a safe place, a safe home.
Yeah.
Safe inner worlds.
Yeah. And safety is an idea that you cultivate. So just remember that. It's not something you achieve. It's not something you chase. It's not something you get.
It is your birthright.
Yes. It is something that you experience. It's a feeling, right? So if you can't feel safe, then there's something that needs to be shifted or released or healed. And then you need to like cultivate it. You don't just like feel safe like automatically, not in this world, unfortunately. So remember that you can always cultivate it at any point that you want to. And if you feel like there's something in the way, then you just address that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Aquarius rising. Oh wait, I missed you, Cap rising. No, Cap rising. We're coming for you.
Not the Cap risings being skipped.
Cap rising, sit in the circle. Okay, this Pisces new moon is happening in your 3rd house, the temple of your sacred voice. So your connection to language is shifting, Capricorn risings. Words are magic. Words are spells. So communication patterns, sibling stuff, and mental loops could be dissolving and reorienting under this Pisces new moon. Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your 4th house are asking you for a new foundation for that deeper message that your soul wants to convey. And the square to arrows and Gemini in your 6th house may bring some frequency around mental distraction. So remember to infuse the curiosity into your everyday practice. And your new moon intention is to allow your voice to reflect your soul, the truth of your soul. So your new moon guidance is to write a letter that you may never send or speak into a voice memo that will never ever be heard or ever published.
Yeah, to your personal space. Do whatever you want. Be free.
Speak it aloud.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I feel so. I do want to say something that Spirit wants to share around this. I've been telling a lot of my clients this when I've been doing my emotional healing circles. Your voice in like indigenous culture and medicine is one of the tools that you're born with, right? It is one of the most healing like pieces of tools for medicine that you have. And psychologically speaking, when we speak something out loud, we can remove the power that it holds over us, right? Like so many of us are afraid of things and then we don't say, we hold it in, we pretend it doesn't exist. We even see it a lot in movies, like when the person finally says the thing that they're afraid of and then they're like laughing and they're like, I can't believe I was afraid of this the whole time. This is so silly. That's truly what happens. When you speak the thing out loud, you remove the power that it holds over you, because in your mind, you know, like think about when you're a kid and there's like a pile of clothes in your home and like the lights are off and you're like, oh my God, it's like a ghost. It's like a man. And you get so scared, right? Our brain is able to do that. Our brain is able to like keep going and feeding into the fear until it feels real, right? And then you turn the light on, you're like, oh my God, it's just clothes. Like, I can't believe I was so scared of this clothes. That's what happens with the fear when we keep it in and we don't say it. Like, it becomes bigger and bigger and our brain just like jumps to conclusions and all these other things. But once you say it out loud, it makes it real, right? And in the reality, it's like, oh, it's really just in my head, or like, sure, it's a fear, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. So definitely using your voice to speak truth, to name those things. And also when we silence ourselves, when we hold in things that we need to say, that can fester in our body. It can lead to ailments or discomfort or stagnation of energy. So also like getting it out is a way to like release from the body what you've been carrying and holding on to. So I like that you were saying like prompting them to like write something, sing something, right? If you have Pisces here, you probably want to do like poetry or singing, yelling, like any way that you feel you need to process this with your voice is going to be very powerful. And I love that you were saying like you're never going to share it, because in my therapy, I find people, we have this weird thing where we like self-edit and like self-correct before we even allow ourselves to acknowledge the true truth. And it's a learned thing, or a lot of the time it happens
or societally correct.
And also a lot of the time it comes up when people are like, well, like I have this issue, my inner child's upset with my mom. But then they like love their mom now. And so then there's this feeling of like, if I say something bad about my mom, then it means my mom is all bad, or like I don't like my mom. And so a lot of the time in my therapy, clients will feel they need to like give me this like caveat before they begin. And they're like, just to say, like, before we do this, like, I do love my mom. She's amazing. She's a great woman. Like, I wouldn't want anything different in my life. And then it's like, okay, now that gives me permission to be like, okay, I'm pissed at my mom for doing this thing. And like my inner child is upset and like I hate her for this. So I do want to say, like, if you find yourself self-editing, like that's a no-no, because like you said, it's like people pleasing. It's like, oh, well, I'm pissed. And it's like, well, it's not like I learned like it's bad to feel anger. So I'm going to self-edit myself away from my anger so I don't fully feel my anger ever. So really challenge yourself or give yourself permission to like, whatever I want to say, even if it's ugly, mean, nasty, it doesn't make sense, there's tears on the page, whatever, like you need to say you need to get it out. You need to get it out, right? You can also remember there's 3 sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth. So it's okay for you to take fully your side. What is your truth? It doesn't have to be the reigning truth. Just give yourself permission to like feel your side fully. and get it out.
100% Capricorn risings, because we got to remember you have Neptune retrograde transiting through your third house. So there's a lot of inner reflection around those mental loops, the inner stories, the inner narratives, that Mercury retrograde is asking for those things to be rewritten. But it is only through your expression and the acknowledgement of these pieces that you're able to release, shed, and write a new story.
Yeah.
Cool. Aquarius rising. So this Pisces new moon is happening in your second house, which is the temple of your value system. So money, self-worth, and embodiment are all themes coming up for this Pisces new moon. Mm-hmm. So y'all have Uranus in the fourth house. So the foundation here is shifting, and your finances and your value system must align. So your new moon intention is to release any scarcity illusions and embody like what is true sacred self-worth to you. So your new moon guidance is to do a blessing over your bank account, over your money, over your finances, to do a blessing over your body and your senses. And I was also feeling for Aquarius risings, especially with Pluto also transiting through your first house, which is massive transformation. This release around any guilt or shame that comes up around receiving, or that comes up around the transformation piece of your identity, of your essence.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah, I think there can be something difficult when having like Pisces second house, because you're like connected to everything. Mm-hmm. So I would say for you, like, spend some time getting really clear, if you aren't already, on what you personally value and then what you want to see in the world. And like, because sometimes we can take on other people's values here when we're connected to everybody. Like maybe you're just living whatever your mom instilled in you, or like society or your culture, your religion, right? And so like if you feel like there's this at odds piece, you've never made space for like your true like values to come through. Yeah. This can be a great time to kind of like do that, especially with like the money piece. It's like the second house is also how we receive. It's often associated with money, right? Yeah. So there might be like those kind of feelings like, what do I care about? What am I here to do? Like, what do I want to spend my money on? How do I want to make money? Yeah. You know, like, how am I receiving abundance or blessings? Is money, do I want to decenter money, right? Like having a Pisces second house, you probably are like, I just want to fucking frolic with my friends and like make art, you know, like above all, I care about connection. And
they're inventive souls.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm here to be a billionaire, you know, type of thing. So I think like, this can be maybe a little bit destabilizing for you with that stuff in your fourth house, and reaching those like culminating degrees with Uranus there, like kind of like, okay, like what's the big lesson? What's the big shift that's happening here? So I don't know. I just feel like for some people it's going to be jarring. Psychically, I just feel like it's going to be like, holy shit, like what I thought is not what I thought, or like, what I lived with is like not what I want to continue living with. Like, what does that mean, right? Because the fourth house is like that foundation. So it might feel like there's like an earthquake underneath your house, you know, and you're like, holy shit, how do I find stability? So I think like you need to give yourself permission to open up to different ways of exploring those second house themes. Maybe there is a different value, a different priority, a different way I want to make money, a different way I want to prioritize money in my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, that was coming through.
Yeah, 100%. I love all of that. And yeah, Aquarius risings, your body will tell you what needs to shift.
Yeah, you're like naturally a rebellious, radical person with the Aquarius rising. So the good part is you won't be a stranger to any of this.
100%.
You've probably interacted with this in some way, shape, or form before.
Yes. Pisces rising. Sit down in the circle. This is our moment. Okay, Pisces rising. All right, fellow Pisces risings. This Pisces new moon is happening in our first house, the temple of self. So this is our karmic reset moment because we are ending the cycle of Neptune being in our first house, which we talked about at the beginning of this March episode because I had a lot to share on, Neptune being in my first house pretty much since high school. So this new moon, it may feel raw for us, exposed, and like a deeply psychic and intuitive moment. So this is a sacred shedding, right? Because again, this new moon is all about release and then rewriting a new story. So this is the universe's way of heightening the trust that we have with our intuition. So our new moon intention is to dissolve who we once were, pieces of our identity that no longer resonate with us, and embody who we are becoming and the truth of our soul when we trust our intuition. So our new moon guidance is to look into a mirror, to speak our own name aloud, and to claim our rebirth. This is a magical moment for us, Pisces rising.
Yeah. I feel like the rebirth could be just one shift, right? It doesn't need to be like a new you, like every aspect of you is new. It can be like one thing that might be better to be like less things, right? It might be one thing that you're like, okay, I'm doing this differently. I'm dressing differently. I'm feeling like differently, how I relate to myself and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just feel like people are going to think like full 180. Like it's probably not that.
Yeah.
But it's important to listen to those because Spirit is saying like for some people the intuition might feel like subtle.
Yes.
Like it might be because a lot of time when Spirit communicates with you, it's not like, oh my God, you need to do this. There's this, like
that's more so
alarm.
Anxiety.
Yes. So a lot of people miss it because this is obviously by design, but our world is designed to like prioritize those like big, scary, triggering, nervous system activating things in our life. Like marketing is like that. We have like FOMO. We have every movie is like this summer, like it's this like huge thing. So if you feel like they usually say like your intuition is that first thought, like if you're like what do I want to do today, and it's like I want to take a bath, and then you're like, well, I can't take a bath because I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do that, and then I have to, if I can do this and get this done, then I can take a bath. And then you're like tired by the time it's the end of the day and you're like, okay, well, I'll take a bath another time. But it's like your body was like
me,
everybody, right?
God, all Pisces risings.
But then it's like if you would have taken that time to do that one thing, maybe you would have got whatever it is that you're needing, or you wouldn't feel so rushed.
Is our grounding element, Pisces rising. Like, I will literally sit at the computer with a tub of water for my feet just to feel like I'm connected to water. So I think like that actually kind of tracks, because I always light a candle when I'm writing. I have a fire rising. Shout out to IKEA for the 100 tea candles for like a few bucks. So I just feel like I keep seeing people being like, what is it? Is that it? Like, is it done? It's like, just enjoy whatever, go towards whatever is coming through, whatever the curiosity, the point is, the thread that's pulling you through. Like, just keep moving towards that and allow the expansion. It feels like this isn't something that you can just be like, give it to me. It feels like Spirit is showing like you have to relax into it and open up to it. Yes. And Pisces rising, again, just look into your own eyes, like connect with your soul and trust in your own magic. Really, it's radiating from you. We are rare magical souls, and we're here to shine that light. But we've got to trust ourselves and create the aligned boundaries so that we're not taken advantage of. So true. So true. Pisces rising. Yeah. And we don't put ourselves in victimhood consciousness. That's also... Yeah. It's also a thing, Pisces rising. Yeah. But we gotta celebrate Neptune out of our first house, though. Like, that is a complete
I don't know, like, okay, so that's like an at-home placement, right? Like in modern astrology, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Yeah. You would think, like, it would be like, yay, like, this is it's like the exact energy, but I don't know if it's just like my own bias or whatever, but I just feel like I would never like enjoy this transit. I just feel like it's like Delulu times 2. Yeah. Like illusions times 2.
Escapism times 100.
Yeah. Like I just it's so interesting that it's like an at-home placement. But then like it's like what home are we in? Yeah. The home of this like fucking fantasy over here. Yeah. So I think everyone is excited that Neptune and Pisces transit is over. Yeah. We're just like so like blah blah blah, like, you know, everybody collectively. So I'm happy for it to stop being like that. And it's gonna be such a stark difference with Aries.
Same. I think back to those times and that was like in the abusive relationship. I was so like, I didn't even know who I was. Like that's the Neptune, like completely dissolving all of my essence, and I had to learn like who I am and my magic.
I feel like for Pisces risings, like you really need to either celebrate how you had to get real with yourself, like how Thailand had to move through it, like I need to recommit, I need to be real, I need to go for what I want, I can't like get caught up in all this bullshit. Or if you did fall into getting caught up in the bullshit, like now is the time to like reclaim and be like, wow, what can I learn from this? Yeah. What was this trying to teach me that I resisted? Like if you fell into like the delusion or the victim mentality or things, you know, like the escapism of it all, like then just use this time to like recalibrate and to take stock and be like, was this healthy? Do I want to keep doing this? Did it feel good? Does it help me be myself more and reconnect to myself more? Or is it like taking me away from the plot? Is it like having me be somebody else? People pleasing, all these different things, right? Pisces can tend to people please as well.
We can adapt. That's the mutable water.
Yes. And so it's like, is this something I want to adapt to? Yes. Is this something that will, if I adapt to this, will it help me get to where I envision myself going, right? So I feel like with Aries, all the Aries energy in your second house now, it's sort of like a rude awakening if you weren't, you know, doing the work throughout the whole time, that it's like, oh shit, I need to get my values in order, my finances in order, I need to like start moving forward towards what I want to build in this lifetime, and so like you might need a little bit more time to kind of like remove the Neptune and Pisces energy and like really it feels like now that it's gone, you can like sort through it a little clearer and be like, oh, that was an illusion. Okay, done.
It feels so much clearer.
This feels better. Okay, I'm going to take that piece. Like this was like a fantasy. I'm going to throw that away. You know, like it feels like you're kind of like sifting through like the debris after like the fallout, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Again, this is a magical moment for us Pisces rising. So claim your rebirth. Yeah. Speaking of rebirth, we have the spring equinox and the start of the zodiacal year, which is happening from March 20th to April 18th, my birthday season as an Aries sun, the sun moving into Aries. So this is the birth of a new year. Yeah. So this is when I celebrate New Year. Like it's Aries season.
For those who are like learning about astrology, like the zodiac signs always follow an order 1 through 12, right? And Aries is the first one, and Pisces is the last one. So every time around like March 20th, March 21st, we have the astrology New Year. It's also considered nature's New Year as well, because spring is when the world awakens from its deep slumber, starts blooming, you know, animals are having babies, all the things. Lots of cultures recognize this space. I think like Persian culture recognizes it with like Nowruz.
Cambodian, Josh and I go and celebrate Cambodian New Year in Long Beach. They do like a whole celebration there.
Yeah. Obviously we have like Easter, which is like the religious kind of like claim, I don't know, I was gonna say reclaiming, but it's like rebranding, I guess, you know, like appropriation. And yeah, so we have a few different like holidays wrapped up in this. I want to say there's probably more, but there's escaping my mind. So yeah, this is like a fun place. Like if you did not feel like January 1st was your new year, there's nothing wrong with you. You're exactly correct. Yeah. The nature's new year is now. It's in March. Yeah. It's March 20th, you know? So it's like, if you feel like you're also arising from like your winter hibernation, just like a bear, and you're ready to get started now, that you're right in the pocket. Yes. Like this is the time for that. Yep. Yeah, a lot of the time, I mean, if you want to do like Easter traditions, there's like eggs and like bright colors. Which is pagan, goddess, yeah, it's taken from it's taken from all that stuff. Yeah, so like this is a time to like build like a beautiful like flower arrangement, or like give an offering to the earth, or like celebrate with friends and family to ring in the new year, you know, type of thing. Set intentions or goals. Yes.
It's a time of balance ultimately, because in the universe, it's a time when the light and the dark are the completely same amount. Equal.
Yeah. The day in the year where it's the same amount of brightness and darkness. Yep. So how can I bring myself back into balance? Yes. How can I take whatever I learned throughout the winter season and implement that outwardly in the world?
Well, plant the seed. I feel like spring equinox is all about that, like planting the seed. And then when we get into the summertime, like that is really when, okay, like the seed's starting to sprout. Yes. And
like, yes. But it's like more, especially in Aries, it's like you want to take action. You're like, okay, I want to do something.
Well, that's what I mean. You're setting the intention. You're like, you're getting it ignited. And that's the cardinal fire, which I always imagine it's like a lighter. It sparks. It's like, here's the thing. Let's go. Let's initiate. Like, let's plant the seed.
Yeah. So if this makes you feel relieved. Oh, and if you're like, what about the other new year y'all were talking about with the fire horse? That's the lunar new year. Yeah. So
which is a whole different tradition.
Yes, a lot more like Asian cultures use the lunar new year. Yeah. Jewish culture uses lunar stuff. So like those kind of cultures, it's just different. It's like the moon phases versus the sun basically is what they're kind of going based off of. So yeah, you can celebrate both if you want.
100%. All the things. I love celebrating the turning of the wheel, though. That feels very aligned for me.
Celtic, like if you're Irish, Scottish, British, like all those types of things, like this is going to be like your cultural piece. Yeah. The pagan stuff is like all that culture. Yes. So those cultures, so yeah, you have at least ancestral claim. If you're like white from that region, do it.
I love it. And yeah, it's my personal new year too, with my birthday being April 11th. So it's every year I get a solar return chart. And it's my new year. So Aries energy, with the sun in Aries, this is bringing up themes around like the rebirth, identity pieces, frequencies around courage, assertiveness, pioneering energy, and personal sovereignty. So the first Aries season with Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries.
Lots of Aries.
It really does carry like an extra weight to it, with like the themes around like the leadership archetypes, like how are we connecting with spirituality, with energy, with our identity sources.
I think those themes are going to be like really, really big during this time.
100%. And there's a collective focus on that self-determination. It's like, what are you passionate about, and what action steps are you taking? What structure do you have in your life to implement those passions in the real world? Yeah. So
Aries is like, if you're gonna come up in my space and be like, oh, I could do this, oh, I'm like this, it's like, do it, be it. Yeah. Like, let's see it, you know? Like, Aries is like, put your money where your mouth is.
And we've had a lot of these conversations where, like, come at me, confront, like, we're like very Aries confronting vibes. Like, but that's the truth, is Aries is like, all right, let's go. Yeah. Like, literally. Just like the ram, we will just...
You're not down, bro.
Yeah. Because Aries ultimately trusts its instinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aries is like the warrior, right? The athlete. And like the warrior and the athlete operate on instinct, on just like in the moment, doing what feels correct, charging forward, avoiding obstacles and challenges. Like very, very athlete warrior kind of instinct pieces 100%. And like way that they operate. So like it's a great energy to obviously bring the new year, but
because the sun exalts here.
Yeah, so the sun loves being in the sun's like, let's go, let's fucking charge forward, you know.
I love my Aries sun.
Yeah,
I'm so biased. I love it.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about how this Aries season with the Saturn and the Neptune piece could be bringing up like cultural conversations around autonomy and the personal sovereignty piece.
Yeah. We've already been seeing those seeds planted, right? Like with the Epstein files.
Yes.
So many people are like, okay, if I'm a millennial, like my whole childhood was created by pedophiles. Like every cultural norm, what I grew up like hoping my body looked like and feeling was trending, and like all the like, you know, styles and things was all just to make me look like a young child, a prepubescent child. So there can be like a lot of like grappling with this energy and reclaiming this energy, which Aries will be great for, like finding your strength and your power within that. But yeah, we're having like that Saturn and Neptune in Aries is like, holy shit, like I've been lied to, and I need to now like decide what I want and take accountability for what I want and say like, okay, do I want to keep buying into this system and these rules that were, you know, put in place for me, or do I just want to like throw them out the window? So that autonomy piece, it's like a lot of people are saying like, now that we know this, it's like I've been seeing a lot of people posting like, so we're not going to be, you know, women, female body people, we're not going to be upholding and adhering to these weird body and image and norms. Like we're going to be a regular woman with a regular body. We're going to have a full figure. We're not going to try and like look young for the rest of our life. We're going to be okay with aging. We're not going to be like falling into the traps of like all the products and things and like Botox and all these things. Like that's unreasonable. Like they just want you to look like a child, like, but you're not anymore, you know? So like to keep fighting to look like a child is weird. So that's a big sovereignty and autonomy piece that I've been seeing as like a trend and theme during this time. Especially like the Saturn and Neptune, it's like the illusion is just really being peeled back layer by layer by layer. So give yourself some time with moving through that if you're having that come up in as like a big theme if you're a female body person. And of course, leadership and autonomy of like the patriarchy, we're learning this system affects all of us, every single one of us. And what is my connection to it, right? If I'm not a female body person and I'm a male body person, am I upholding the patriarchy? Am I making space for it? Like, am I taking leadership and autonomy over my own choices? Or am I just following the trends and the fashions that people are saying? Like, oh, you just treat women like this. Oh, you should just view women like this. Or like, oh, your partner should be this gender norm or role. Or it's like, oh, boys will be boys. Or like, you know, guy code or whatever. Like, am I upholding these things? Or am I actually being a leader in my community? Like, there's been a lot of talk about like, oh, how come when you say like, you know, a man hears a woman, oh, all men are like this, it's like not all men. Like men are always like not all men. It's like, well, which man? Because if every man says not all men, or every man says, but not me, I don't do that, I didn't do that, yet every woman or female body person has had sexual assault at some point or has been something related to that in their life, then like where are these mysterious men? Who are they? If it's every female body person has it but no male body person takes accountability and ownership for it, then we're just kind of like, is it in the room with us? You know, is the man in the room with us the meme? So it's like, where's the disconnect here? Like there needs to be a level of accountability. And I was even talking about that with my dad, because like he grew up and he's not like that, but there were times that he was sharing with me where he would be like, oh, talking to a girl, and a guy would be like, that's my girl, why are you talking to my girl, get the fuck away from my girl. And he's like, sorry, that's a way that you're upholding the patriarchy, because you're saying, oh, my bad, let me defer to you as the authority over this woman's body as her boyfriend, instead of being like, well, that's a human, and like you're not owning them and you're not controlling them. There has to be like a ownership of like the uncomfortability piece of like, it's confronting. It is confronting. Like Aries is like the ram. We need to confront. We need to butt heads, and we need to say like, fuck, I might be fighting with my friend right now, but this is more important. Women feeling safe is more important than placating my friend's ego. Like it's just, that's how we're so far into this system that is fucked. Yes. So there's going to be a lot of themes around that, I feel. Obviously, like leadership pieces with our government, like people are like, there needs to be a real leader emerging. Who the fuck is actually trustworthy? Who is actually fighting for our rights? Who is actually making space for the future that we want to see? And it's not just governmental level. Like, you know, the president, it's local government, it's community, it's family. Like any time that you choose to like take your accountability and take your leadership space, it benefits everyone, right? And of course there's going to be a lot of people trying to take up leadership and accountability for bad things. Like we're seeing this rise in like the Republican conservatism, the tradition trad wife, the Ozempic skinny pretty, like all of this stuff that we're seeing. Obviously we're in this like last, like we've been saying, we're witnessing the dying empire, the last breaths of this. I think it's obviously not in the next few days, but it's like as we are here being witness to this, we need to acknowledge like when something is about to die, it will make its last, you know, like struggle to win. So it's going to grip even harder. So we're seeing that piece, right? While we're all having the wool pulled out from over our eyes, we're also seeing people doubling down harder, you know, like really buying into it and really trying to drive that point home. So I feel like there's obviously going to be people who are going to come in with confidence and swagger, and we're raised in this patriarchy to defer to people like that and just trust them, especially if they're a male body person. Like, oh, they just have authority. It's like, why? Because you give them the authority. That's all. Right? And that's the autonomy piece. Do I need to give this person authority and let them be my leader and teach me to ignore my inner leader, my inner authority and my inner instincts? No. So like be discerning through this time. Like if somebody seems like they got it all figured out, like do your homework, you know? Like so many people are following the trail of breadcrumbs with the Epstein files, like seeing where the money is going, and they're like, this is why these things and this is why this person is doing this. So then you can like detach, oh, I'm just getting caught up and swept up in their bullshit, you know? We're going to see that in many facets of life, not just religion and body, but politics, and there's so much like autonomy being stripped away from people, not just immigrants and people of color, but now we're seeing it with trans people. With like the thing in Kansas, they passed a bill where like it's illegal to drive if you're trans.
Wait, I did not hear that. What the fuck? Yeah,
so all trans people got a letter in the mail from their government from Kansas saying, as of right now that you received this letter, your driver's license is null and void, and you need to turn it back in, and you cannot drive if you're trans, and you have to go and get a new license that reflects your gender assigned at birth. You cannot use your chosen gender. Otherwise, it's illegal and null and void.
Oh my god, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and then like there's a lot of things like the one of the courts ruled that like it's legal for a USPS employee to not deliver your mail based on whatever their judgment is. So they could like, you're gay, I don't want to give you your voter ballot. Fuck you. So like there's a lot of pieces.
That's like the doctors being able to refuse care. Yeah.
Well, they passed a law in Tennessee that if you have an abortion, it's like a felony, or there's jail time related to it. And the water companies are getting, I think it was the water companies were using like the water, like when you flush your toilet and things like that, to track if you're like getting an abortion, or if you miscarry. That's what it was. If you miscarry, and you know, it usually happens for female body people, like the miscarriage, like it can be painful and you're very acutely aware, or it can just be like, whoops, the baby came out, like it wasn't viable. And so they're like going beyond and like looking in the water, and then they found like a baby that was miscarried, and they're like DNA testing it to charge the mother for a crime. And it's like,
that is so heartbreaking, especially when that subject is already so painful.
Yeah.
And
now we're learning with the Epstein files.
It's so common too. Like 80.
It's very normal.
I experienced
very
one.
common.
Like 80% of women, I think, go through it.
It's very common, and it's not. And that's why I don't understand these men. Like it's like obviously they don't care.
Yeah.
And they're just doing it for some other agenda, right?
To uphold this patriarchy.
Well, basically, what people have come to the conclusion is, after seeing the Epstein files and seeing how America is like this huge child trafficking ring, that's why they're so big on abortion, because they want more babies to feed into their child trafficking, you know, and their sexual assault and abuse. Like we read in the Epstein files, the youngest victim was still attached to the umbilical cord getting sexually assaulted. Like that's fucking crazy. Like they truly don't give a shit. So there's a lot of like autonomy pieces that are trying to be like voter autonomy. Like they're trying to make it like you have to have like your passport and your like license, or what was it, your birth certificate and your license or your passport in order to vote. Mm-hmm. And like if you got married and you changed your name, then your birth certificate does not match, then you won't be able to vote.
Yeah.
Like they're really trying to take away the autonomy, so we really need to step into the sovereignty and the autonomy more, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot there. And I can feel with the Neptune-Saturn piece that there is the Neptune quality on the higher octave, the desire to dissolve the patriarchy.
Yeah.
That Saturn.
Yeah, that's our that's our system, our leading system right now.
Yeah, and we see it in real time, like everything you just mentioned, all coming up to the surface.
Yeah.
It's not hidden anymore. We all know what the fuck is going on. Yes. And it's like, now that you know, you have to choose. Yes. How are you going to act? You can't be like, I didn't know. You know. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. Like even in the example that you mentioned around a man talking to a woman and then the jealousy piece, like even as something as little as that, right? Like that example, like that is still, if you choose to get all defensive and possessive, like that's still upholding the patriarchy, right? Like even in those things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like daily and big picture that we're both dealing with here in your personal life and in like the community, right? So we have to address it on all fronts. There's a lot of people like in Cuba, they haven't had power for over a week, if not 2 weeks now at this point. Oh my goodness. In Venezuela, we're starting war. Like there's just so much going on, and like people are not having their autonomy. Yeah. We have to free ourselves from this system. Yes. Yeah, we do. I feel like every time I bring up this stuff, like Tom's like, holy shit. It's because I'm like... The Pisces rising, you're like, oh. I've cried so many tears over this shit. Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, I've been in a lot of grief. Same. Yeah, and like deep sadness. And the feeling of... Mine's just deep anger. Heartbreak. I know we've talked about the like difference of the response. I'm like, that makes me fucking pissed, dude. Yeah. You're like, Aries sun, but my Aries moon is like, no. Because it's emotional, the Aries energy for you. I love having an Aries moon. I know people don't like it, but I'm like, it's so strong. Yeah. It is. The rage is like, I will cut you. Yeah. Don't fuck with an Aries moon. That's all I'm saying. Aries moon it's like so me and my whole family are Aries moons. Like, don't fuck with an Aries moon. So intense. And a Virgo Mars, it's like, and a Gemini Mercury, it's like, if you fuck with me, not only will I have the rage, but I will have the receipts. I will have the argument. Yeah. I will be able to run circles around you mentally and like vitality wise. Oh my god. Yeah, for real. So... I mean, whatever you're feeling, right? Like, whether it is the rage or the sadness, like, whatever it is, like, these emotions are there on a collective level for all of us to process, because we're all witnessing this in real time together.
And it's also like taking autonomy for your feelings, right?
Exactly.
Ownership of your emotions.
Yeah.
Like, am I feeling this? Then I need to process that. I owe that to my body. That is my job.
Yes.
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, excited for Aries season. As an Aries sun, we'll see what shifts that brings. I also want to talk about March 20th, because we
finally have some good news in this bitch.
Neptune, going direct. Like we talked about, though, Neptune will Neptune. Mercury will be going direct.
No more Mercury retrograde. Yay! I mean, there's a post shadow period, so you might get a few strays.
Yes.
Maybe, depending upon
what you've been going through. Mercury will be in shadow all the way until April 9th. So, but Mercury goes direct, March 20th. Yeah. At 8 degrees of Pisces. So that first decan, which is what I just said is my embodiment card for my lifetime, the Eight of Cups. So, yeah, I was feeling with Mercury stationing direct, this quality of, okay, like this clarity is now coming to the surface, but like a dream, like that feeling when you're in a dream state and you can remember some of the images or the feelings or sensations. And there is the clarity of like, I know I've experienced this, but I don't know all the other pieces. Like that's sort of what it feels like waking out of a slumber.
I see that.
But it is still bringing up like the themes around that intuitive clarity, the emotional communication, the spiritual insights. But the fog is slightly lifting, even though it's still there. It's like softly lifting.
Yeah, like that's, it's like if you like black out or something from being drunk, and then you're like, I'm getting like images as I'm waking up and going through this more. But I'm like, I need someone to help me fill in the blanks.
100%. March 28th, we have Saturn in a sextile to Pluto, which I love. I actually have this aspect natally in my natal chart. So it's a really powerful aspect because the sextile is loving, supportive. It's magnetic energy. Like these two archetypal energies, they want to support each other. They want to help each other. They're magnetized towards one another. And I mean, this is really powerful with Saturn being in fall in the sign of Aries, right? Yeah. And then Pluto moving through Aquarius, like, and this sextile really representing this supportive shift within the structure, the supportive shift within this transformational period. So it feels like it's something that is happening kind of in the backdrop of all of this, because Pluto, again, is a slow burn, taking 20 years to move through a sign, right? And then Saturn taking 3. So these are archetypal energies that really take their time, but there's a feeling state here around Saturn and Aries representing the identity piece, and then Pluto and Aquarius representing that collective transformation where the sextile is creating the strategic breakthroughs, the empowered new systems, hopefully, that clear away the patriarchy, the evolution of leadership, right? So long-term change and generational momentum with the Pluto piece representing generational frequency.
Well, I think it's also like something to think about that like these are both malefic planets.
Yes.
So even though they're like having that positive magnetic energy together, it might not feel how we perceive it as positive and magnetic.
Well, because everything has to break down. It's like Pluto is also destruction. Everything has to break down for the new. And then again, Saturn is in fall in the sign of Aries.
So it's like we have to be like, there will be structural shifts, but it might not be like, yay, like I'm so ready for this shift. It's like, fuck, like this bomb was dropped on me and I need to fucking figure my shit out, you know? Like
I mean, yeah, it's like, did we just enter World War III?
Yeah,
like,
did we? Did we? With like 3
like,
fucking countries? Like,
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think
all to distract from the Epstein files.
Right.
Come
and
on.
I think like Saturn with Pluto, it's like more secrets will be revealed, more secrets
100%.
will come to the surface, the more peeling away of the layers, which is why you're saying like the patriarchy dying. It's like more of this coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm getting chills as I say that. So I think 100%. That there's going to be like something around, what did you say that date was? March 28th?
So March 28th.
More stuff coming out around there that we can predict.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think it would be? Aquarius, and Aries together?
Yeah.
I think it will be secrets about leadership. For sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, secrets about leadership, about our system and structure, because like Aquarius has that structural piece.
But then Pluto wants to transform the systems within the collective, because Aquarius medicine represents humanitarian values ultimately.
Yeah, so it's like maybe it's hard delivered, but it's important for what we're moving towards. Like I don't know, it's like that thing where I was saying earlier, like, now that you know, what are you going to do with it? I feel like it's like more to know, so that we can see more of the full breadth of the picture, so that we can act accordingly.
Yes. And this is why I don't usually in these, like, when I'm doing the research, I don't usually research, like, all of the aspects that are happening with, like, Venus to, you know, Mars. Like, these are planets that move so quickly, whereas Saturn and Pluto, they move so slowly that it is notable to talk about this aspect, right? Because even though it might be subtle or it might be big in our face, it's something that is happening, that is
here.
These planets are being drawn to one another to support one another within a structural shift for humanity.
I feel like something is going to fall. I don't know if it'll be good, but I just keep seeing like something actually being like destroyed and falling, like a physical structure.
Yes.
And we bombed Iran.
Yeah.
Iran bombed us back already.
Yep.
Literally all of Rafah is gone. Completely gone.
And we talked about this with Saturn moving into Aries, that it is a signature of war, and it will only be heightened when Uranus fully moves into Gemini.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, it's kicking off. A lot of astrologers were pointing to that February date where they bombed.
And that was the date Neptune moved into Aries.
Yeah. So.
And that's also a signature of war.
Yeah.
And Pluto in Aquarius is a signature of rebellion and revolution. So the shifts are happening. Like,
we're seeing
whether
it elsewhere.
You like it or not,
they're doing revolution in Iran. They were trying in Nepal. They did it. Like in India, they're doing it now. Like, we're getting there. Yeah,
these shifts are happening.
I would say we're doing it here too, but it's just different. It's taken a minute to get its footing.
But it's about creating change that is rooted in the betterment of this whole society, the collective. All of us together. And it's about allowing those changes to actually be sustainable.
Yeah. I feel like the people who were like very into the Neptune and Pisces are the ones who were like, Kamala should have won. Like, this would have never happened if we had Kamala. And then I feel like the real like tea, like the Neptune and Aries swapping is like teaching you like, bitch, it doesn't matter who it was. The system is broken.
Yes.
All of these people are compromised. All of these people are bought and sold to the highest bidder.
She said that. Like, that it's so broken. So
it's like we don't just need like a better candidate. We need reform. We need change.
100%.
And I think that like the Trump administration is like really fucking up every piece so that we can really see and be like, oh shit, we need to fix the voting. Oh shit, we need to fix the Supreme Court. You know, like, oh, you know, we need to fix all these pieces.
Yeah, because if it's not fixed, they're only going to go deep, what you said around the doubling down of, okay, well, now they're going after gay rights. Now they're going after, like, our autonomy. Like, now they're going, like, it's just gonna be, so we've had enough. Like, we're fed up.
Yeah, I think all the Aries energy will help people reach that point of, like, now I want to take action.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people, like, were posting before, like, so when do we get worried? Like, when do we do revolution?
That's the Saturn piece, right, in Aries, which is, like, the autonomy. Like, well, I feel like this is something that is unsettling for me, and I don't want to live in this world, right? Because Aries is the I. But then the Aquarius piece is the humanitarian collective consciousness. So that sextile is like, okay, well, if I feel this way, you feel this way, you feel this way, all the I's come together to create something new, a better system.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, right? It's a big system. It's a big country.
There's so many pieces, and it's the whole world, honestly, the whole earth, this whole floating hunk of rock.
Never mind the climate change of it all, right? Like, that part is so scary and so unsettling. Like, I think with Aquarius being tied to technology with AI, that's a big, big conversation that we're having here. AI, and they're also, Spirit is showing me like all the like private jets and yachts and things, like having like you need to take ownership over wasting of resources, overusing of resources. So I'm seeing like some medical stuff too coming up with like vaccines or things like that, or like
that might be the aftermath of the Virgo eclipse.
Okay. Because I've seen people predict that there's like a new, like, not COVID, but a new virus that's already starting in like Pakistan. But I don't know if it's particularly that thing, but I was seeing like some kind of medical piece. So I feel like with AI, it's like, are we taking ownership and being responsible? And I'm seeing a lot of people in the US. Thank you to those people who are showing up to city council meetings, who are showing up to board meetings, who are showing up and saying, do not put this data center here. Do not. And they've been turning down a lot of them. This is part of the revolution. They've been getting them overturned. Because literally the world scientists and leaders on climate have said we are in a water deficit, we are in water bankruptcy, we are in water extinction. It is not coming, it's we are in it now, and we're at a point of no return. And so if we don't actually get our act together and prioritize what's important for the future that we're building, we are going to be paying $25 for a bottle of water, and we are going to be cleaning ourselves without water. We are going to be like the countries in like India and stuff where they don't have water infrastructure and they have to like have all these crazy inventions to like figure out how to live, or they're just gonna have to drink dirty water, right? Like we're gonna get even in some parts of the country they already kind of have it. Like my dad lives in Vegas, and they have like limits on, you can't water your lawn at a certain time, you can only water it on this time of the day and week. Like your showers have to be limited. Like all these things will happen, and it's not like, if we don't have water, we can't grow food.
And that all goes back to the system pieces, right? And the Aquarius, like, having the access to technology. Like, there's amazing and innovative technology that could clear all of those problems in a day.
It would be cheaper to solve homelessness than to do what they're doing with homelessness right now.
Like, and everyone could have access to water. Like, no brainer.
Yes.
But they don't want to share this technology.
No, because all the corporations care about is money. That's all they care about. They have made that abundantly clear. They have all these companies have invested and are losing billions of dollars trying to get all these AI things off the ground because they think it's going to be the next best thing. And nobody wants it. Nobody has asked for it. Nobody needs it. We don't need AI for everything in our life. We don't need to make a little like cute little image of yourself. It's not needed. We can use AI maybe for like scientific advancements, helping humanity like solve issues and problems, not for fun, not for this like, oh, or can AI look it up?
With, like, entertainment. Like, I have a few clients who that is like the whole vibe. It like supports them and making sure that they can get these projects done in a way that's efficient. Like, there's also, I feel like a collaboration, we've talked about this, in a way that is of integrity. Like, that is the key. Like, the integrity piece.
I just feel like now I don't support that just because of how dire the water issue is. It's like, if we were able to like solve that, then we can loosen it. But it's just so free flowing right now. Everybody's just doing it for fucking fun. And it's like these data centers are being put in low income neighborhoods. So all these people's electricity bills just skyrocket, and they didn't approve, they didn't sign on for it. And the corporation, if you're choosing to build your thing, you should be paying for the gap. Oh, sorry, I need to move my car. I'll cut this out.
What is that for?
It's a reminder to move my car for the street sweeping.
Oh.
But I'm parked underneath.
Keep talking.
Yeah, so this is like the company should be bridging the gap. They should be paying for things, the increase in the bills, not making it the onus of the people who live there who literally can't afford these things and didn't approve of these things. The water, it uses so much water in a data center. So the amount of water that's being, I would say, wasted, I don't care if you don't agree with me, wasted. So these people now have less water. They're paying more for water. It's giving them unclean water. It's already real. You can look it up. There's people who are getting rare cancers. I feel like I've been saying this everywhere and anywhere, but I feel like there's still people that don't know how detrimental these things are. And this is part of like the ownership and the leadership piece. Like, can we start the conversation? Can we have the conversation with people? Just imagine one by one, we all teach everyone like, this is not the way. And that's why I'm really loving all the people who are like fighting for it and showing up and really saying like, not in our community. We're not going to have this. You cannot approve this data center here. It's just so superfluous. It's unnecessary.
I feel like that's also a lot of the Uranus and Taurus pieces coming up in the final degree.
Yeah. The changing of the land and the resources.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then Gemini, it's going to be all about ideas. So I feel like they're going to double down with the AI. Yeah. Oh, it's about, we can disseminate ideas. We can share ideas. You can access. The AI feature in Google is my biggest, like most companies, some companies are letting you turn it off and not use it. Thank you to those companies. But like you have to in Google now. Like the only way you cannot have the AI when you Google search is at the end of your Google search, you have to write -AI and then it won't use the AI. But that's like every time you have to do that, they make it nearly impossible. So it's like you're not even trying to, but it's using AI every single time. It's using up resources every single time.
Well, that's why I've said on the podcast that, I mean, we think about how we grew up with like no access to cell phones. We still had landline phones. We had dial-up internet.
Yeah.
Like we're not going back. I feel like as a society, like this is where we've come to in the progression, but it really does have to come down to the question of how can we create systems that also are in harmony with the earth, with the technology, right? And so that we can move forward again in a place that is of integrity with ethics. Like,
yeah, that's going to take a long time. A lot of what we have right now has no integrity or ethics.
Yeah. But the technology is available. Like, there's no denying that. Like, the technology to create the better systems for water as a source for all to access.
Right, but humans are look what they're using technology for. They're not using it. They're not like, oh, this is so cool. We could use this to clean up our waterways. Oh, this is so cool. We can give everyone. No, they're like, cool, look at this bomb.
Well, it's also the people.
Look at this plane, this jet plane.
Upholding the patriarchy in these positions of leadership that are not actually supportive to the betterment of society. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if that shifts, then it's a different story. Because I feel like, again, we're at a point where we really, I don't know if we can go back, but I also am someone that, like, I really value the connection to nature and to the, like, simplicity. Like, that's something I actually, as we're recording this today under the Virgo Eclipse, I was meditating with the 9 of Pentacles energy, and I did this whole temple transmission on this idea of embracing simplicity, which means, you're not on your phone. You're not like on AI. Like you're not like, you are just in nature. Like we see in the card of the 9 of Pentacles, she's just enjoying her life and in the beauty of the moment. Yeah. Like that is also something that I feel is ancient yet timeless.
Yeah, I think that it's funny because you're like, we're not going back, but I feel like a lot of people are feeling that call to kind of like go back and like do the, like how you're saying, the simplicity, the less technology. And I think there is that sort of like people are pulling as we're going to the extreme of this AI hyper technology. People are like, no, I want like none of that. You know, I want simplicity and like old ways.
Yes. That's why we've talked about it, like the younger people, like just having flip phones.
Or they like, don't have like Instagram on their phone. They only use it on the computer. Yeah. Like I think that that is like setting your boundaries, that can be a great like, you know, authority, autonomy piece. Like where are these systems hindering me, hurting me, holding me back, stressing me out, making me anxious? Because a lot of people don't talk about the energy piece of being connected on your phone. Of being connected on the internet. It's at your fingertips every single day. You sit on the toilet. Like all these things, you're like immediately connected to all this energy. And we don't really have like, not a lot of people, at least I will say that I know of, are cleansing their phone, cleansing their feed, like cleansing their computer. Like this is something we're consistently accessing and connected to. And these companies that make these social medias are not in integrity, especially now, TikTok being American owned by the guy who owns Oracle, like who is, he's purchasing Paramount. Like there's no integrity. And so like you're being sold things, you're being dopamine, nervous system, like farmed almost, right? Fear, all these pieces, and then they suck that up and they get to use that and take that. And that's just like, then you're, you know, like you're in the energy. Like I can't even scroll on my feed. It's every other thing is an ad, or, you know, it's like you're not even seeing the content that you want from real people, from real creators, real artists. You're getting an ad for this, a thing for this, you know, so I can understand why people are like, bro, I'm pulling away from that.
Well, it's essential, I feel like, as like I'm saying, in this era where we can't go back. It's like technology is going to continue to progress. We still, as individuals, have the sovereignty to be like, I need a break, I need to rest, I need to reconnect to nature, I need to come back to my roots,
and to like put your money where your mouth is, right? Like if they've made it clear the only game they're playing is money, the only thing they care about is money, know your enemy, fight your fight, right? Aries is a warrior. Okay, cool, bet. You only care about my money? I'm gonna make sure to spend my money as wisely as possible.
Fuck Starbucks. Like, I haven't gone to Starbucks.
Target, haven't missed that bitch at all.
No, have not stepped foot in a Target. Exactly. That's the practical part of it. In the Aries autonomy.
And like, look, I know there's so much complexity. Like, I had like not really an argument, but a discussion with my sister, because she was like, oh, I went to Target and bought like my nephew some shoes. And I was like, why are you shopping at Target? Come on. She was like, look, I'm a single mom. Target is the only place that has these shoes, and my kid's going to grow out of them in 3 months. So I'm going to go ahead and save my money by buying this at Target. And that's like, I don't buy anything else there. I just buy what I need there. So it's like, in our society, they make it unavoidable, because my favorite new meme is that the US is 5 corporations in a trench coat. And so like if you follow it, all these companies are owned by one company, right? There's one big parent company. Like everything is Nestle, like Pepsi and Coke. They're all big, like everything is under these umbrellas. Procter and Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, like they're all like that cool, like there was someone who went to the grocery store and like took a photo of like all the shampoo toiletries, and then literally researched every single product to see which one was actually a small business. Only one of them on the shelf was actually a small business. Every other one was owned by a larger parent company. So like that company that you think is like organic and this and that, if you look at the trademark, it's Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble. It's all big companies marketing and having smaller offshoots. So it's okay. It's not a perfect clean cut. The only way to make sure you don't support 100% is to grow your own food, make your own clothes, have your own sheep. Like, not everyone has access to that.
This is exactly why we need the Aquarius community part of like, we're not meant to do it alone.
Yes. And we've seen that in history. Boycotting is community orientation, right? Like, if you have a group of 5 people that are seamstresses, they can get that shit done for you, and you can trade with your cooking or whatever it is, right? Like, we can all have resources that are less impacted through like the corporate piece. But yeah, you have to pick and choose and take your autonomy. Like, I feel good about not shopping here and making my boycott here, spending my coins here. And I just have to be okay with that and know that I can't 100% be zero, like, in zero connection to a corporation. They make it very hard right now. So do your best, right?
Yeah. Like, I still need to order, like, supplies for my business and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, that's...
Yes.
There are things that are... unavoidable in just the matrix, in the reality that we live in.
You have to pick and choose, and you have to feel good about it, you know? And, like, I was having this discussion with my partner because he was like, well, if I can't support this, you know, music artist anymore, and, like, this company, and like, people are like, we need to boycott and only buy essentials, right? Like, not buying any luxury, frivolous items, because that's where you're starving out the corporation by not, it's all extra shit, consumerism shit that they're marketing to you. I don't need this. I just need, like, my toiletries and my food. I have enough clothes. I have enough, whatever. And if you do, you support a small business as much as you can. Like, he was saying, like, well, now all the things that I would do and connect to that brought me joy are kind of like taken away. He's like, all these music artists, I can't listen to them anymore. All these people aren't doing the right thing, speaking out enough, doing this enough. So am I supposed to not support them anymore? Excuse me. And like, it's like, oh, but they have more money than a small business, so you need to support a small business. And so you really have to just like find whatever works for you and fits with your value system and fits with the world that you want to make space for, and just do that. And if you need to change and adapt, it's totally okay. Like, you're not legally obligated, you know, to like stick to this, you know, system. I think with Saturn and Aries being newer, we're going to be figuring that flow out. We're going to be calibrating it. It's not immediate, these shifts. It's like, now that I've been in this energy for like a couple weeks, how do I feel? What's coming up, you know, what's important to me? Like, for me, I've been feeling like I need to get more in my body. I need to stretch more. I need to like spend more time out in nature. I've been feeling, because the energy's intense. Like, I need to do more during this time, right? What keeps coming up is like the queer, like the AIDS movement. There's like that quote where it's like, we went to the hospital in the morning, or we buried our dead in the morning, we went to the hospital in the afternoon, and we partied and danced all night. And then that's how we get through it, right? There needs to be a connection to joy and movement in order to move through heavy, deep things. Because that was a time where the government was literally like, I don't give a fuck about gay people. They can die. You know? And it was the community that had to organize and make a stir and force people to take it seriously. And to destigmatize it. And literally community members had to be there for each other as their community members were dying. So it's like, this is the queer, like, community during that time is a great case study for how we survived through. And they're not the only one, right? Like, we know that, like, enslaved people in America would sing. Like, they had all these songs that they would do as they were being forced to pick cotton in a field all day, all chained together, right? There's really important ways to remember to remain connected to what is important. And it's just remembering, like, buying that thing is not it. But getting the instant dopamine is not it. It's community, it's joy, it's movement, it's slowness, it's nature, it's all these other pieces that maybe we need to explore for the first time ever in our life, because we're detaching from the patriarchy of it all.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if we all collectively said, we are going to create beautiful gardens together, and every like 3-mile radius there's going to be a beautiful garden, and we're going to gather and we're going to tend to the garden, and we're going to be in the space together, and disconnect then from like what you're saying around they all lead to just a couple corporations, like to where we get our food.
Yeah.
Because at the baseline, like humans, we don't really need that much to survive. Like
No.
we need connection, we need belonging, we need like everything at a base level for, you know, if we're cold, like to be able to have the warmth, for food, to sustain our body, water. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, we don't need that much. So
we've overcomplicated it for sure.
There is a call to come back to the simplicity. And I just feel this so strongly because, again, we're recording on the Virgo eclipse right now. So it feels like it's very...
I've been feeling like that. And so have other people, you know? Like, there's so much about, like, I just want to, like, be on a commune with my friends and family and my community, all growing food, just living off the land. Like, people are feeling that. Like, we need to return to the ancient cultural ways to heal, you know? So, yeah, I think that... And it's not that crazy if you think about it. In the 1950s, everyone pretty much grew their own food. And obviously, in the 1950s, everyone could afford a house. But everyone pretty much grew their own produce, and they would just go to the store for, like, their meats and then their, like, non-perishable items. Like, it's only more recently that, like, that stuff was taken away. There's a reason why everything is seedless in the grocery store. Because
seeds are so good for us. I've been on a pumpkin seed kick. I'm putting chia seeds in my yogurt or my granola.
Yeah, but like if your watermelon has seeds, you can just grow another watermelon.
Exactly.
But if it doesn't, then you can't. It makes you reliant on the grocery store for the produce.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that like we have to, I don't know, like acknowledge and reconcile and figure out as we build something new moving forward.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly why I think it was you that was sharing with me that they only plant the male trees so that there is no produce. There is no fruit.
Yeah. Like if there were like male and female trees just on the street, we would have more fruits, more things growing.
That's also why people have allergies and all these health issues.
It's an imbalance of female, because the male trees are the ones that put out the pollen, the sperm, and then the pollen is supposed to find, you know, and take root in a female so that they can make the flower can make the fruit. And like without that, it's just a bunch of pollen fucking everywhere, and people's allergies are just fucked. So.
Yeah, we're really speaking to so many of the imbalances that we're seeing.
The systemic
from
stuff.
Many different lenses and viewpoints here.
Yep.
Which is another just overarching example of how the system is broken.
Yeah, I have a whole Substack on that. I'm doing a whole series.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, how do I survive in a capitalist hellscape that's designed to make me fucking powerless? I have a whole series on that. So, if you're interested in following down the rabbit hole more with me, you can go there.
Yeah, there's a lot more. But let's keep going because we have 2 more things from March. So on March 29th to August 10th, we have Hera, Juno, the Queen of the Heavens, in Aquarius. So we have the Queen rewriting social contracts. As Hera represents marriage, contracts, agreements, sacred commitments, and the sovereignty within those relationship structures. So in Aquarius, she is like the future matriarch, like or the futuristic matriarch. So rewriting social agreements and being the advocate for community and equality, because we have to remember that Hera, she is the queen that stands up for people that have been in positions of oppression. Like she is the queen that stands up for the people that have been abused and violated and neglected. Like that is her frequency as the Queen of the Heavens and the person that creates balance, right? Like that is her role. She's there off in the corner, actually. She's watching this whole thing. She's like, yeah, I do. So this transit brings up themes around new relational paradigms. And that's interesting because Aquarius is like inventive relationship structures innovative.
Yes.
So
I feel like there's gonna be like a big shift around societal structure relation, like how we were talking about all the female people being like, bro, what the hell, like, are we gonna just not try and keep ourselves to these patriarchal, like, pedophilic standards? Like, I feel like there's gonna be even furthering of those kinds of stories where, like, what first thing that came to my mind is like all the women that are still in relationships with men who believe in these things or pro-Trump or things. Like, I just feel like there's gonna be like another layer of like, dude, like, I cannot uphold this relationship structure because you're not agreeing with and fighting for the future that I want, where like everybody has a seat at the table. So I feel like I don't know, I just feel like people like will have that in mass type of like, I'm leaving my husband, I broke with my boyfriend, or like, I don't know, just like my family member, I don't just like stay silent while they say this shit, I definitely feel like there's gonna be that. I think there's gonna be a shift in like actual relationship dynamics, like how we've been seeing in China. A lot of women are choosing to stay single and not get married and not have children, and just focus on their career and stuff. And it's like not just in China, it's a lot of places in the world, but they've been like interviewing these women and they're like, girl, I don't want to be responsible for 2 children, including the man, like, so I think that kind of shift is kind of what I'm seeing of. That's like
how I feel.
Yeah.
Facts.
But you've already like confronted a lot of these pieces, so for you, like, you've learned the hard way, right? Like, you had an abusive relationship and you're like, fuck that, like, so there's some people where it's like they're afraid, or like that's just how their family has always done it, or their church told them, whatever it is, right? I just feel like there's another layer of that. Like, I know in the past there's been like talks of like women going on strike in a sense to like not have sex with men. Like, okay, fine, you don't want to prioritize our bodily autonomy and our children, then I'm not gonna fuck you. Like, if that's all you want me for is to have sex, then no, sorry. You can go use your hand in the corner, like. So I don't know, I just feel like there's something around that. I don't think it's exactly what I'm saying, but I feel something similar. Like
inventive ways of relating.
Like, there was like, I think at some point with like the slut walk in the past, like a lot of women shaved their head. They were like, I'm not gonna look pretty, quote unquote, to your societal standards, and feminine, quote unquote, to your societal standards. Like, you can kiss my ass with that, So I just feel like it's like stuff like that.
So I definitely feel that it is also bringing ethical energy into social systems, because again, Hera craves balance, and she is a big advocate for pointing out when there are unjust power dynamics. Like, that is her specialty, that is her skill set. That is why Love is so passionate about these things, because Love has Hera on their ascendant. So Love is the embodiment of, I'm gonna like get these fuckers doing all this horrible shit. Like, literally, like, that is Hera's whole thing. Like, standing up for people. She's fierce. Hera is
I wish
fierce.
a bitch would.
Hera is fierce. So the other part of this is the communal piece. We're talking about Aquarius medicine representing communities. So it is like a reevaluation of the contracts that we have in communities. So it is powerful for building those networks.
But think about it, right? What is a contract that we all uphold in our communities? Like, politeness, like societal standards, manners. As female-bodied, we defer to the man, we make space for the man, we empower the man, right? Like, these are all like women have to be like demure and sweet and sit with your legs closed and like all this kind of stuff, right? Like, those are all societal contracts that like we are just born into. They're just thrust upon us, you know, and we don't get to sign yes or no, check box yes or no. So maybe this time is when we're like, what the hell? Why am I doing this? Check box no. Who cares? I've always been like that. I know, like, you're like, I'm the embodiment of that, but like, sit with your legs closed. I'm like, I'm gonna sit with my legs open even harder. Like,
I saw on TikTok that that's like a whole thing.
Yes, the taking up space, the man spreading. When like men sit down, they like sit with their legs like this. They're taking up all the space, and then the women are like this, and they don't move over at all. My favorite video was like this woman on. So it was somewhere in Asia, and she was on the subway, and there was two men doing that, like with their legs. She sat in between them and just opened her legs really wide and forced them to like close. And I was like, yes, get it. Yeah. So
Jinx is like, I'm out.
I don't know what her problem is. But yeah. So there. Yeah, think about your contracts that you buy into, right? A lot of female, like in my therapy sessions with my clients, I've been talking a lot about like how female body people are raised. Like, if a man shows you attention, then you say yes, then you date him, then you do the thing. But women are never taught to like ask themselves, like, do you actually like this man? Do you actually want to have sex with this man? Are you attracted to this man? It's like, no, if a man picks you, you say yes. Thank you for picking me, you know? And that's why a lot of people marry people, like my aunt. I asked her, why'd you marry my uncle? I'm not saying which aunt for a reason. But she was like, he was the only man that showed me attention. So I married him. That's a really common thing. And like, people are, like, conservative people are sitting here being like, well, everybody married back in the day. Marriage rates were high as fuck and divorce rates were low as fuck. Yeah, because that's what women were force-fed, and they had no other choice in the societal norm. And now that women are getting more choice, like I just talked about in China, it's like, why would I marry this man? He's a child. I don't want to marry a child. Yeah. You know? And so, like, back in the day, why'd they get married? Because that's what they were taught. If this man is interested in you, scoop him up. Get married. This is your chance at marriage.
It's because women were considered property. Basically.
Yep. Yeah, no choice.
So, yeah.
And that's that ideology that we're still operating from. You don't have autonomy. What your needs don't matter. You are in service to the man, and you are in service as a mother to birth children. That's your job. As an object, that's your job. You're like a vacuum. Like, vacuums clean up. Women are an object that creates babies. Like, that's how the patriarchy sees it. Yeah. In the really harsh and disturbing way. You know? It's like, that's the truth. So, like...
And they program us into that from a very young age. Like, that's why as little girls we have our, like, dolls that we play with. And
the girls' toys, like, kitchen.
Like, the Easy Bake Oven. Like...
What's the boys' toys? Like, Transformers, cars, sports. Like, they learn autonomy.
Niece, Julia... She loves playing with cars. Like, that's her, like, favorite toy.
Yeah.
This little car.
Even the boys' dolls. It's like Army, you know, like, it's G.I. Joe. Yeah. Like, there's...
That's also programming, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, well, yeah, all of it's programming. Yeah. But it's like a better programming system. It's like they get different roles to choose from, and the women get caretaker. You know, it's like your mother, you're cleaning, you're cooking. The men can be like race car driver, astronaut, military man, you know? Like, that was like a whole thing that like Barbie did that radicalized. Like, there was like basketball Barbie and like business Barbie, because it's like showing
Barbie. That was my favorite one.
I love how you pick a not real career. You're Pisces rising. You're like the made up one. Yeah. I did have the one that changed in the water. Changed colors in the water. I did have it. But, like, you get what we're saying, right? The choice is made for you. And now we're learning, shit, the choice was made for me. What is my choice? Oh my God, I have to sift through this from whatever age you are now and confront that belief. That's why I get a lot of clients who are like over 50 that are women. They get readings and they're like, now that my kid has gone to college, I don't know who I am. What do I care about? What do I like? Who am I if I'm not a mother? Like, my work doesn't fulfill me, and my child I don't have to take care of anymore, so what do I do with my life? Yeah. So it's a common thing, and like, if you don't deal with it now, you deal with it at some point, right? Or you just pretend your whole life, or maybe your personal needs just perfectly align with that. Maybe you actually do want children and a family and all the things, and that's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's your real truth underneath there. Because we need people who want to have children. Yeah. So that we can keep existing. But it's gonna be me. I'm glad there's other people doing that. But yeah, like, it's important to acknowledge all those pieces.
Yeah. I feel like if there were societal shifts, though, where I felt more supported, I would consider having a kid.
I think a lot of women are like, that's why they're choosing to be childless and marriageless, because they're like, I might not, it's not a no, but with this as the option of how to do it, that's a no for me.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Not in these current systems. Yeah. Without the lack of support. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's becoming like Idiocracy. So another documentary. Yeah. It's I don't know if you've seen Idiocracy.
Yes, yeah. It's a really good movie.
It's like all the smart people are choosing to not have children during this time. Yeah. And then everybody else is still having kids who's being brainwashed into having kids. It's like crazy. Yeah. Wow. I was literally thinking about that. I was like thinking about it the other day too with the water. We were
talking about that actually after you left the party that I had. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, because like with the water deficit, that's what happens at Idiocracy. Yeah. They don't have water and they just have the Gatorade. I was like, fuck, this is real. Yeah. Yeah. What's the last one? Okay.
Well, at least this is a good place to like land, Venus and Taurus, right? Yeah. So from March 30th
Frankie's until Venus return.
Oh, I love that. April 23rd, we have Venus and Taurus. So this is a return, right, to Venus being at home, domicile in the sign of Taurus. It's so interesting because, Venus is the ruler of Libra and Taurus. So I see Libra as the side of her that is like the warrioress, right, where she is fighting for justice. And it's also the side of her that is very artistic and all about aesthetics and that side of beauty. Whereas the Taurus side of her, I see her just so seductive and sensual. Like, she's on a luxurious couch and she's just like moving slowly and like eating food. And there's just a orientation to the body and to pleasure and to the senses and to the experience of the material world, the money and all of the pieces in Taurus. So it just feels very rich and luxurious when I tune into Venus, domicile in Taurus. It's so different from her Libra side, which again I see as like this warrioress.
And artist. I also feel like with Venus and Taurus here in the context of globally what's going on, it's like Taurus is stubborn, right? Yeah. Taurus is like, I need my comforts. I am not going to budge on these things. This is what I want to experience. Yeah. This luxury is non-negotiable type of vibe.
Yes. 100%. It's like, I will spend a little extra money on having like the organic cotton because it just feels better on my skin and I'm not irritated.
Yes.
That is like Venus and Taurus coded.
Yes. Like, I need my nighttime routine and my 10-step self-care. Like, otherwise, don't talk to me. Don't come for me.
They're really good at setting boundaries, people that have this placement natally.
Yes. And it's also a slower, because it's like earth sign and it's stubborn, can take a little bit to like integrate and to come to terms with things. So I feel like in the context of all that we'll be going through in March and like ending with that, there might be a choice or a fork in the road where you might want to, because Taurus loves being comfortable. So there might be a sort of fork in the road for you where you're like, do I just want to cling to like the comforts that I've already known and grown up with? And even if they're not healthy, like I still and can anticipate them and feel like a sense of predictability in them? Or am I going to move towards what actually maybe would be like the next evolution for like my comforts, my joy, my Venusian type items and things in my life? Like, I don't know. I feel like with all this transformative energy that we were talking about and the autonomy and all of that, it's like, okay, now that I've kind of uprooted and thought about these things, like, what do I want to, experience more of? What do I want to plant more of? What do I want to see grow more? What is beautiful to me, right? What beauty am I cultivating moving forward for myself and for the collective?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's a choice for sure, I think,
Yeah, because Taurus medicine in general asked us to trust our bodies. So it's interesting because it can bring up what you were saying around like things that just feel like a comfort, but it's like a stuck point. Like Venus and Taurus can be very stubborn and possessive.
My partner
natally. Like
Venus and Taurus.
Get very like in their ways.
Takes them like 2 years to understand something. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because again, it's like Venus is like, oh, I'm just so comfortable here on this couch.
Yeah.
And like, I just feel so good.
And it's
like,
you forget it's like a fixed sign. So then they have the audacity to be like, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change. And you're like, bro. Like, my Venus is mutable. So I'm just like, I've changed 3 times already. Yeah. And you haven't changed once.
My Venus is cardinal. Cardinal also can
move through things. Yeah, so that's a very interesting, like, it's very spring vibes for sure.
Because she's bringing up again like themes around like deeper levels of embodiment, sensual healing, financial grounding, our beauty rituals, slowing down, and connecting with nature. So it's a time collectively where we are stabilizing our resources, where we are having a deeper stewardship with the earth and over the earth. We are working with beauty and wellness, rituals and routines. And we're also seeing that it's interesting because I was sharing this with the 9 of Pentacles energy, but Taurus also represents this like slowing down, the simple things in life, having your food, having your glass of water, whatever it is. So this craving, the simplicity piece. So yeah, this is your invitation to slow down, listen to your body, to ground your energy, to connect with beauty, however that resonates for you. So
yeah, I also think it's interesting because Uranus and Taurus will be ending by the time that this transit is over. It will be swapped into Gemini. Yeah. So it's kind of like this weird, I see it as this weird, like, instead of the shift being so jarring, it's like helping to like usher in the shift, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let me let you down easy, give you a soft landing at the end,
Yeah, because Uranus moves into Gemini April 25th.
Yeah, so it's literally 2 days after this transit
ends. We'll be talking about it next month.
Yeah, so that to me feels like a big piece. I don't know, I just see it as like this cushion underneath as we're like coming down the slide,
100%, because Venus is domicile here. She's at home. Like, there is an ease to this placement, but it is really an invitation for us to slow down a little bit. Yeah. Listen to our body. Yeah. Create the boundaries.
Okay, so we need to answer the questions. I believe we had 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, so we had 2.
And then we'll do our card pull.
So just really quickly, the overview of March. Again,
skipping on.
This is a month of integration. It's a month of purification with this Virgo eclipse we're in right now as we're recording. It is a month of surrender with the Pisces new moon. It's a month of rebirth with the sun in Aries, and embodiment with the Venus and Taurus piece, and spiritual courage too, which the Mars and Pisces, which we talked about, nourishment coming from Ceres and Taurus, and sustainable transformation and change with the sextile between Saturn and Pluto. So again, it's an integration month, but there's still a lot happening. within the restructuring of our identity and the autonomy piece. So
good luck. Godspeed, everyone.
There we go. That's March, baby. It's a big month.
All right. Let's get into our card pull. We
Cool.
will be doing this.
Do that.
Okay, so
Let me pull up the question.
we're going to do... We paused and asked. We're going to do the questions first.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let me pull up the question.
Yeah, so if you don't know, what are the questions? What questions are you talking about? That's what you sound like. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we have an email, thecelestialcirclepodcast at Gmail. And we also have, TikTok and Instagram pages. So if you have a question about your own birth chart, about a transit, about something you want us to look into, around astrology, human design, psychic stuff, whatever, ask us that question via email or DM, and then we answer it on the podcast. We obviously keep saying sit in the circle with us, and this is how you can sit in the circle with us, because we're totally aware that this platform is just us speaking and recording. So we want to give that platform for you to ask questions and learn and all the breakdown stigmas, whatever it is.
100%. So we love this question. So this person found us because they wanted to know what Erica Kirk's human design type was. So they found our episode on that, and they say they fell in love with the podcast, but they also love the new format with the monthly transits that we're doing, and they say they find it super helpful. So recently they've been exploring the deeper esoteric meanings of the planets and have been really interested in Saturn representing limits, with Jupiter representing the expansion piece. Mm-hmm. And then they realized in their natal chart that Jupiter is in Libra. Hi, hello, I also have Jupiter in Libra in opposition to Saturn in Aries. Oh. Welcome to your Saturn return, baby.
Jesus, okay.
So they wanted to ask specifically about the relation that Saturn has to Jupiter and what may occur considering they are in opposite signs.
Yeah, I have thoughts on this. Okay, so I've seen from other astrologers, I've heard other astrologers say to unlock your Jupiter, you have to make peace with your Saturn. So it's sort of like if you want the blessings and the expansion and the prosperity, you have to step into the boundaries, the rules, the structure, the order, the scheduling, right?
Yes, because these are the karmic principles of this entire universe, right? Mm-hmm. Jupiter representing the expansion, like you're sharing, and then Saturn representing the limitation.
Yes.
And we need both in this realm that is built off of duality and polarity.
Yes. So a lot of people say, like, if you want to really embrace and embody your Jupiter, understand, embrace, and embody your Saturn first.
Yeah.
I would say, so when we have an opposition in the natal chart or from a transit or something, an opposition is literally like, for those who don't know, think of it as like literally two opposing sides. So it's like a line in between them, and they're just like debating yes or no on the same topic, right? It's like opposition directly across from each other. And the point of the oppositional placement in the chart is it creates this sort of like tension where it's like a push and pull.
Yeah.
And you need to like find that balance in between that push and pull. So for you having Saturn in Aries and now going through your Saturn return, I would say this would be a great time for you to like really deepen into the Saturn piece first. Really understand what is this placement, what are the aspects if you have any in your natal chart, like do you have a square besides the Jupiter, right? Like any other aspects, what are the lessons or things that you have? They didn't say what house it was, right?
Yeah, we don't know this person's rising sign, so I was going to say that if you do want to write back in and share with us your rising sign, that will help us have a better indication of where this is falling within the area of life within your houses.
Mm-hmm. And it's the same principle as well, where they say like if you want to shift your 10th house of career and legacy, deepen into your 4th house of family and ancestry and home, right? The ones that are directly opposing each other, directly influence, they have a relationship with each other.
Yes.
So for you, whatever house you have this Aries in, it's going to be really important for you to like get to know, understand remove any fear, any blocks, any limitations, create some limitations if you need them.
Well, Saturn's there, so the limitations are required, but it's more so about building a structure that is supportive for you to expand. I mean, it's like trees, right? They need that grounded root system connected and rooted in before they're able to grow and expand.
Yes, otherwise they can like fall over because the roots 100%. Can't support the big tree, right?
Yeah. And you need limitations for that. You need a container for that. You need a structure for that. You need the devotion to however it is that you are building that structure. But so it remains strong. Yeah.
Without knowing the houses, at the base we know Aries is me, Libra is we, right? Yeah. Libra rules over relationships, balance, justice, beauty, and Aries is like that leadership, the tenacity, the audacity, the self, the ownership, right? So for you, your Saturn return is asking you, what's the me? What do I need to do? How do I need to take ownership? How do I need to step into my things? How do I need to build a structure to support myself to move forward? And so if you do that, then that'll give you those blessings with the Libra, with the we. Like let's say if you have Aries 1st house, Libra 7th house, you're learning how to deepen into yourself and show up fully as yourself. And that's going to impact the 7th house of relationships. So then you'll get more blessings in your relationships. But I would say like having this, it's kind of like a mixed bag. I can feel for you. It's like, you maybe get blessings when you do focus on justice or fairness or relationships, or you focus on cultivating beauty. And so that can maybe be this like weird reinforcement loop of like, oh, but every time I focus on other people, I get blessings. And then you might feel this need to like abandon the self or not put the self first. And I feel like probably for you, Saturn is like, no, we need to have these first and foremost structures and support systems for ourselves so that we can find that. It's like a weird catch-22 of like, Spirit is saying like, the more you know yourself, the better you can show up in the relationships, right? The more blessings, the more intimacy and deepness you will actually have in the relationships. That's kind of what I'm getting from you. I don't know, like, again, the houses will really help us to really hone in on like what it is you're actually supposed to be doing in your Saturn return. I don't know. Do you feel?
Yeah, so there are a couple of pieces there. So one, let's go back to the opposition energy, because it is really essential to understand what that is in the natal chart. So it is what astrologers will call a harsh aspect, but I actually love working with these aspects because they're the parts of the chart that show us where there is inherent friction between two archetypal energies. So the oppositional pole, I always imagine it like this tug of war kind of energy where it's like one side of the opposition is pulling here and then the other side is pulling here, and it's creating this band of tension, but we can utilize that to be really productive in our lives. So with Saturn being in Aries, this is a responsibility to your instinct, to trusting your instinct, to trusting that spark of life. Again, Aries being the cardinal fire, it is creating structures in your life that support that passion piece without the burnout. That is the key with Aries as the ram, to understand what you have the energy capacity for, because like I was sharing with Aries energy representing the lighter, the flame is there, but then with the lighter, it's not always present, like a Leo energy being fixed fire. So the flame is there and then it's gone. So the passion is there. I'm going to orient my time, which Saturn being the Lord of time, to whatever this project is or whatever this passion is. But then when it's not there, I'm going to rest. I'm going to take care of my physicality. We've talked a lot about this with the Saturn and Aries piece for y'all on a collective level. Workout. Saturn and Aries, the movement, the physicality piece, creating time and structure in your day-to-day experience
very important.
This is essential. But then, the area of life, the house, is going to tell us a lot more about where this is occurring for you. And then what I find so interesting with the opposition to Jupiter, this is saying, okay, if you can create those containers, create those structures, devoted to your passion, devoted to that creates that spark of life within you. This is actually how your soul expands, how your soul grows, how your soul receives blessings.
That's what I was saying. Right? It can be that weird feedback loop where you think if you abandon it, you get the blessings, but it's really not. It's like you need to deepen into it and be structured. 100%.
And that may feel like you're being selfish, right? Of like, oh, I'm taking me this time.
Me. Yeah.
But I will share something personal here because I don't have Saturn in opposition to Jupiter, but I do have Venus in Aries in opposition to Jupiter in Libra. So I have some of the pieces here with the Jupiter in Libra at least, but then just a different planet in Aries, which is Venus in Aries. And this is honestly, to be so for real, this is the aspect in my chart that I am the most emotionally aware of because Jupiter in Libra is my ruling planet and Venus in Aries detriment is like glaring, Jupiter down in her own sign being Libra. So it's just a very intense frequency because for both of us, we have, Saturn being in fall in Aries and Venus being in detriment in the sign of Aries. It's intimidating to have Jupiter in that opposition, which is in Libra, which is a very well-placed Jupiter. I mean, Jupiter expands here through harmony, through like the beauty,
royal, ruler.
Yes, it's a very artistic energy. So what I will say with this is having Venus in Aries, I do have an understanding of what it means to embrace the qualities of like what other people would perceive as selfish. Like spending hours writing these things, researching astrology. Like I spend a lot of time doing this, but then with the opposition to Jupiter, I take that information and bring it into this, I feel the podcast it has those themes of the Libra, like we're sitting down in the circle together. So even though it's broadcasted out, I want it to feel like a one-to-one, like we're just vibing, like that is sort of the energy. And then I also bring it into my practice of spending all this time doing the research on things that light me up, things that I love, like that Aries fire and that passion. And then I bring it into the one-to-one work, which is the Libra energy. I bring it into, for me, the 8th house, which is the depths, the occult. And I share that because Libra energy, it desires to cultivate harmony. It desires to cultivate peace. It desires to cultivate balance. But really the opposition for you then is all about creating the structures in your life around the things that you're passionate about. And then with the opposition to Jupiter, allowing that then to be a force that expands you and receiving that reflection back from the people that experience your art, whatever it is. Because I see that and I'm like, oh, this person is here to be devoted to artistry, to your passion, whatever that is.
And a lot of Libra placements, I find the art is like fashion. Yeah. Or like decor, design of some kind of way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you do want to let us know where this is
happening, we can give you more specifics.
We're just going over like the basics.
General, yeah.
But yeah, I will say it's something that I know through just the Venus and Jupiter opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's...
Thank you for writing in. Good luck on your Saturn return. Keep asking us questions.
Yeah, let us know how it feels to
chew 5 gum. Sorry, I had to.
Well, I mean, I think it's like remove if there is any shame or guilt around like being selfish, like taking the time for yourself to fulfill your passions.
Putting other people's needs before yours, keeping the peace at your own detriment.
Yeah.
Being afraid to share that artistry, creativity, justice, peace, fairness, peace with the world.
I also feel like this Saturn and Aries generation, like there is a karmic contract for all of you because Saturn is in fall here, which gives Saturn an extra grit, an extra resiliency, an extra endurance, because y'all know I love planets in fall and detriment. Honestly, I think it's a vibe. I feel like y'all as a generation have a karmic contract to show up as the leaders of the new, like this new energy with the new structures that we're creating.
The grit piece, I feel like it's like we're trying this new system. Like I see it as like sanding, because when you said grit, it's like, okay, like I'm working on this furniture and like I don't have like a framework and I'm just gonna like own it, do it, build it, whatever I see. And then it's like, that I need to take this apart and sand this down. It doesn't fit quite right. Like, I feel like your generation is going to be called to like step into the leadership, but like, you're probably not going to feel like you have all the answers.
Yes.
You know, or like, you know exactly how the best way to lead is.
Yes, because you're all leaders in your own right. Like, that's the Aries piece around the individuality. Like, we need leaders in this facet of life. We need leaders in this facet of life.
Yes.
It's about choosing what that means for you, and then for you specifically with the opposition to Jupiter, letting that choice, which is ultimately a choice for you to be devoted to personal sovereignty and to leadership in your own right, letting that choice expand your consciousness, letting that choice bring in the blessings. Yeah.
The visual that they're sharing with me is from The Office, when Michael Scott has an announcement and he like runs into the bullpen. He's like, I have an announcement. And then Dwight is like, I have an announcement. And then they're both like, oh, did you have an announcement? Did you have something to say? I feel like that's that like Saturn and Aries is like, I have something to say. I have something to say. Did you need something to say? Were you going to say something? You know? And then like
it bursts forth.
But then with your Libra piece, you might be like, oh no, go ahead, you go first.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to be more discerning around like, do I need to go first? And do I need to say what I need to say?
Yeah.
Or do I like give other people their space to say what they need to say as well? And then I say it after, or I don't say it, whatever it is, you know?
Yes. Yeah, because there's a lot coming up for your Saturn return then around relationship dynamics, because that is what Libra represents. And for us having Jupiter in Libra, love and relationship dynamics is a big source of expansion. But I know I've had plenty of experiences in my life where I've given my energy, my love, my time to relationship dynamics that were genuinely not supportive of me. And that also paired with what I was sharing earlier with the Neptune being in my first house forever, like a disconnect from my own truth and who I was. But still, it's like there is a capacity with the Jupiter and Libra energy to just feel that expansion through love and relationships. So the Saturn piece is then inviting you into the responsibility of who do you involve in your life? Who do you choose in your relationship dynamics?
I also see it as like, if you had a certain experience when you're trying to expand and when you're in relationship with others, and, you know, as humans, we can tend to just like go back in and like feel like we need to guard ourselves from these experiences. I felt like that could be maybe the Saturn in Aries of like, I didn't like that, so I'm going to make a rule to never do that again, you know? Because, like, Aries is like, I'm just going to go full send. I don't give a shit. And Saturn is like, protect yourself, have that structure, the boundaries. So it's like learning to calibrate, like, when it's correct to do that and when you need to, like, acquiesce and allow Jupiter to show you and expand you into that next level. And then whatever that new level is what dictates that, like, Saturn structure piece. Instead of just, like, going back inward and being more selfish or being more about yourself, or like fuck relationships, you know, or like making rules. I don't date people like this. I won't be friends with people like this. It's more about like, what is the lesson that it's teaching me about myself and how I can show up even greater and even bigger and take up more space and feel safe to do that with whatever system or boundaries that I've created for myself.
Yes, 100%. It's all going to come back to that for this Saturn return. That's really what it's about, is creating those structures and systems so that you can receive those blessings from an integrated place. From a space where you're actually able to take that in.
Yeah, because Aries can be impulsive. So you might be like, fuck that, never doing that again. It's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah,
we need to like sit with it, you know? We need to understand what's going on so we can make the best decision and not just be like hastily making all these rules and things.
I also feeling for this person, there's something around the pioneering qualities of Saturn, where there's something around going first in terms of maybe creating a new structure or new form of art or new structure within relationship dynamics.
Yeah, maybe you're the cycle breaker in your family or something like that. Yeah, something you might be the first one that needs to do it, so there won't be a path that you can easily just go upon, and just follow.
Yeah. Because ultimately, the Jupiter energy, when you make that decision to just trust your instinct and go first, even though it's scary, Aries requires courage. That is what is ultimately going to bring in more of the Jupiterian peace. Because I know that peace is what brings me so much expansion. And Love and I have talked about this. Like, this is why in the morning,
Libra likes harmony, balance.
I am in that peaceful energy when I wake up. Like, that is my priority because that's a value system that I have. I value peace, and that's also what I bring to others, like I was saying, in the one-to-one dynamics. Like, that is why people ultimately come into Temple Radiance, like, is for that overwhelming feeling of peace. But that's because I maintain that as something that I continually access as my form of unique blessings. Because wherever Jupiter is, like, that's where your blessings are. That's where your abundance codes are.
Yeah.
And you have a very lucky Jupiter.
Me?
Yes, you.
What?
Yes. Me? You're like lucky over here.
I literally have a tattoo for it. I think that was, I feel like that's pretty. Oh, I was just thinking about this, how my generation is Saturn in Pisces, so we're like ending a cycle with Saturn, and then Saturn in Aries generation is starting a new paradigm, a new cycle. It's a new about. That's what I'm
saying. Like, they're the leaders of
it's not just system. Personally in your life, in your family, whatever, in the world.
And that's what this Saturn return is. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like we're going to see so many of these souls stepping up as the leaders, the change makers, paving the path.
Yeah.
So step up, Saturn and Aries.
I feel like that's appropriate because Aries is like, bet. Want me to step up? I will.
Yes.
Challenge me. My Aries moon. What, you want to challenge me?
You are warriors. Like, as a generation, y'all
structure
are
warriors. You're structure warriors. You're system warriors. I don't know.
Passion warriors.
Yeah. Okay. What's the second question?
It was just someone who asked about, okay, Saturn and Aries is in my 5th house. Like, what's up with that?
Oh, okay. So Saturn return again, continuing the conversation. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, ooh, well, Love will know all about this.
Yeah, I have Aries 5th house. I've started my 4th house.
Yeah, but no Saturn transiting your 5th house.
Yes, transiting your 5th house.
Yes.
So if you have Saturn and Aries in your 5th house, what do you need to know? Number 1, you're going to be going through your Saturn return. What is a Saturn return? It means that Saturn is returning to the same exact place that it was when you were born, which happens about every 29 years. For some people, if you have like an earlier degree Saturn, it could be 28. If you have a later degree Saturn, it can maybe last till like 30s, like in terms of like exactly touching the exact point where your Saturn placement was when you were born, but you will be experiencing it throughout the whole thing. So they say generally from like 28 to 30 is sort of this like container. Like, I finished my Saturn return when I was 30, but it like started before that, right? Because it takes like 2-3 years transit. So you're going to be going through your first Saturn return. You can have, depending upon how long you live, up to 3 Saturn returns. Am I doing math right?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, do people live that long? 3?
Yeah.
60, 70, 80. Yeah. Okay. So what this means is when our Saturn return comes around, because Saturn is that structure, order, he's malefic, he's about karma and time. That's what he rules over. It's sort of like seen as like a make it or break it or a boss up level. Like, you're sort of reaching like the final boss type of moment, and then you're going to unlock some skill that you can continue on in the journey, right? So it's interesting if you think about people, the context of people's lives. 30s is when we start to develop actual wealth, actual security, actual career goals. Like, people think it's when you're 20. It's not. You realize all the people that you look up to are like at least in their 30s. And it's because they alchemize the lessons that they get in their Saturn return, and then they implement them, and then they blossom from that, right?
Yes.
Your Saturn return happens whether or not you're ready for it, whether or not you're aware of it, whether or not you're listening to it. So the challenge with Saturn is that he teaches the hard way. He doesn't give you easy way out. He wants you to understand, integrate, implement, schedule, structure. And if you don't, you're going to keep getting that lesson over and over and over. And that's why he's like, learned the hard way. He's like, you didn't get it? I'll give you another option to get it. You didn't get it still? I'm going to keep throwing that lesson at you till you get it. And so if you don't listen to what comes up in your Saturn return and integrate and implement it, you're just going to keep getting that lesson over and over. And you're basically like making your Saturn return elongated, right? So for you, having Saturn in Aries, knowing that you're going through this, so the next 3 years are just going to be a lot of lessons, a lot of things for you to integrate and understand about yourself that will ultimately set you up for success. That's what Saturn wants. Put in the effort and work, get the reward. If you do that, you're great. It's like a regular teacher. Do the homework, study, do the exam, you'll get an A. That's really what Saturn wants you to do. We talked a lot about the themes of Saturn and Aries already. So autonomy, leadership, authority, ownership, initiation. A lot of these pieces are going to be the main themes of your Saturn return. Having it in your 5th house is where we like hone in on like how, where, who, what. Your 5th house is your house of passion, desires, sex, creativity, sometimes children even. So we might have children during this transit if we have 5th house placements. But really what your Saturn is saying is you need to really take ownership over your desires and your creativity. And you need to set up a system that supports you to do whatever it is you want to do with it. What is your desire? Do you want to own a business? Do you want to cultivate something? Do you want to start a family? Do you want to just love yourself? Do you want to have peace in your body? Whatever your desires are, you need to treat them as sacred and you need to work towards them. Set yourself up for success. Are you making intentional choices in this moment that will open you up more and more to your desires? Saturn is going to be saying, I hear you talking about these things. I hear you being really passionate and really excited about these things because you have Aries in your 5th house, just like me. But are you making the intentional choices or are you just serving yourself in the moment, right? Because Saturn says it might suck now to do this, but tomorrow and the next day, you're going to be thanking yourself that you did this. So you're really going to be asking to initiate, to create structure, to implement, to try out different things with this Aries energy. It's like going to be like new, starting, bringing it in. Or maybe you already know what your desires are and you've been scared and you need to become a leader and step into the authority piece of that. And same with your creativity. How can you infuse your creative gifts into these structures? Can you make it like, fun for you, expansive for you? Can you give yourself space to play in here, right? And to acknowledge even your creativity, because a lot of people are like, I'm not creative. Every human is creative. Humanity's gift to the world is creativity. Otter's gift to the world is building dams and refrigeration systems naturally. Look it up. It's crazy. Their dams are crazy. Our unique gift that no other beings on this planet have is our creativity, our ability to imagine and invent things, right? So in this creative house, that's like, what are my creative gifts? How am I stepping into that? How can I create a structure to allow my creativity to grow and to soar and to take up space? Am I putting time in my schedule for it? And it's okay if your creativity is not your job. It's not what you want to do eventually. You can just say, I just need a creative outlet, especially during this time. This is for anyone who's listening. Like, the opposite of depression is expression. So how we talked about the movement and the joy and the AIDS epidemic, how they danced, that's the creativity piece, right? You need to connect to your creativity. You need to create something so that you can get this energy out, so you can maintain grounded and focused. So for you, having a creative practice throughout your Saturn return is going to be probably what grounds you. You need to make intentional space for that. And then I would say, like, if you have any other aspects, so like, if you pull up your chart, is there like a square, an opposition, a sextile, a triangle, other planets interacting with your Saturn placement? That will create more information about what's going on in your Saturn return and how it will impact you. Yeah, and then like the earlier degrees as well can change the flavor slightly. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I feel like the creativity is intense here, with Aries already representing like what are you passionate about, and then the fifth house just amplifying that, and then Saturn saying, okay, create a structure that is devoted to your creativity, that is devoted to your self-expression. But what I have seen as a pattern for souls that have Saturn in the fifth house, there is sometimes restriction around self-expression. There can be like fears around being seen or having their art be witnessed, being witnessed, because it's also the house of self-expression.
Yeah, so like your clothes, how you, like your haircut, like all kinds of stuff like that.
And even just, like other parts around the identity, like Aries representing that could come up. The fear of
like, are you queer? Are you a person of color? Are you a scientist? Like your different identity pieces.
Yes, so there's then a responsibility in this lifetime with the Saturn in the fifth house to remove any fears of self-expression around letting your art be seen. Yeah. So that is really key. And again, it might have those qualities that I was sharing earlier around the going first. Like being the first in your family line to have this identity structure. Or being the first to just
of your friends to do it, or your community.
Or to create this form of art. Like, this is a time where there is so much of a universal support system and what it means to trust your instinct, to trust where your spark is leading you, and then to create from that place. There's also this quality of what it means to have a structure within how you play in life and romanticize life. So what you were saying around like taking the time to spend on these projects and things, like that feels like it's really important. And this also being the house of sexuality and like love affairs, I would also say that there's something coming up around the autonomy piece in that. So trusting the instinct of, does this feel good? Do I want to play? Do I want to be in the pleasure? Or do I want to create this Saturnian boundary?
Yeah, because Aries is a Mars-ruled placement, so those placements are usually hypersexualized. Yes. Even when they're not trying to be sexual, but also just, like, sexy in general. Like, you might just be more sexual as a person. I would say with your Saturn here, unless you have other Aries placements, maybe not so much, right?
Well, this is probably a pain point. Like, something the soul came in to learn.
Yes. So you may have felt like, I can't be fully that, you know, like maybe your self-expression, you want to like wear a mesh shirt and have your titties out, or like maybe you want to wear those short shorts, you know, like
because maybe there was punishment or isolation that occurred in prior lifetimes because you were embodied in self-expression, because and that wasn't accepted.
Saturn is the karma, so we might have karma here. We might have past experiences, whether it's in our life or not, that make us feel like we must be this and proper, and you can't, you know, you got to be inward and hold all your stuff in, and you're being called to like just put it out there, you know, just be about it.
There also might be a reconciling of this being the house of children. Do I want to have kids? Do I already have kids? Do I not want to have kids at all? Do I want to freeze my eggs? Like
some kind of structural choice. Yeah.
Like these pieces I see a lot come up with Saturn in the fifth house, because sometimes there is the Saturnian quality of responsibility towards, okay, my soul chose to have a child in this lifetime. And then sometimes there's such a complete restriction or shutdown towards that, like that Saturn being like, no, like your responsibility is towards your creative projects. Those are your babies in this life. So I've seen it like both ways.
Yes.
So
yes.
That piece is also
because I feel like people who are doing like creation for the world tend to not want to do their own children. So there's that kind of like, which one? Yeah. And it's okay if it changes. Yeah. There's something else I was going to say about this that I just forgot. Oh, Saturn rules the head. So this is for both of the question people. Now hopefully you're still listening, but Saturn rules the head. And like I said, or Saturn rules the head. Aries rules the head. And Saturn learns the hard way sometimes. So be careful of head injuries, having a lot of tension or tightness in the jaw during this time, getting tension headaches during this time. Any system thing in the head, like sinuses, brain, ears, mouth, all of that. Like you could have anything. Teeth is Capricorn, so you should be in the clear on the teeth if you're worrying about that. And like there's the lymphatic drainage, it's a different system. The nervous system is a different system, but all things in the head. So like for me, like I sometimes just hit my head when they're trying to get my attention because of my Aries moon. So just note that, like, if you get a head injury, if you're getting a lot of headaches or things like that, this might be Saturn trying to give you a message here, physically in the body, especially during this time. Like, just don't be like wearing a helmet everywhere, but like, just be mindful. Like, if those things are coming up, like addressing them, like working on them. And there might be this might be, if when we're talking about what is the structure, what is the thing that I'm implementing with my creativity, you might want to change your hair, right? Because it's Aries is the head. Yep. You might be like, I want to have blue hair and then red hair. I want to cut it all off. I want to grow it out. That's a form of self-expression. Because that's what we were talking about, like tying it all together. Yeah. Or you might feel like you want to play with makeup or like tattoo, like get your eyebrows tattooed or something like that. I don't know. Like it depends on who you are as a person. Wearing jewelry, getting piercings, you might have that. Like this can be fun ways for you to like self-express with that Aries piece because it's around the head. Wearing hats, putting like clips or adornments, ribbons, things in your hair. There might be like that can be like a fun play space for the creation that can feel really, really enriching and rewarding because it's tied to that Aries part of your body. Other head self-expression. I feel like that's maybe taking more selfies, maybe being more visible, like more photos of your face, more mirror work during this time could maybe be really useful for you.
And strengthening your identity, like that's also Saturn and Aries. It's like, who are you? Because Aries is I am. Who are you? And you can even look in the mirror and be like, I am a multifaceted healer. I am an intuitive. Like, you know, whatever. Like those are parts of my identity structure, but what are yours?
Yeah, so really diving into that and not sectioning out parts of your identity. That is going to be the death of you with that Saturn Aries. It's like, so many people are asked to do that in capitalism. Oh, your work self, your home self, your dating self, your, you know, freak in the sheets, you know, angel in the streets. Like, there's so much of like identity separation. You are whole. All of you together are important. All 100%. The parts of yourself are important. That's why we were talking about the sexual repression, bringing all of those pieces together.
Yes. Cool. Well, that feels pretty good for
the questions.
We do want to hear your questions, though. So if you want to sit in the circle with us, send in any questions that you have around your transits, or if you want to send in stories, like if you want to share with us how the Neptune in Pisces piece impacted your chart, the Saturn in Pisces, y'all that just finished
or you're still trying to figure out what the lesson is in there.
Yes, like, how you want to integrate. I was actually just chatting with a friend of mine on that same exact thing of like, okay, now it's done. How do I integrate? Like, what's up with that? Like, so yeah, we want to support you. We want you to sit in a circle with us. That's why we created this new format. So now we're going to move into our overarching tarot message
for March.
Spirit.
What is the collective? Okay, that one was stuck in my hand. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so
did that come up for January?
I want to say it already came up.
Came up for January.
That was my first thought. I was like, did this come up already?
Yeah.
Well, we're still in it, I guess, collectively. The universe, the collective is like, bro, when is this gonna stop? When is there gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel? When are we gonna end the suffering? When is the change gonna happen? When can we have this freedom point? But I feel like Spirit is like reiterating by bringing this message up twice, being like, it's you. It's you. You do it. You create it. You build it. It's the Pentacles is the element of earth. So it's slowest moving, right? And it requires like consistent tending and care and love. And so I just feel like they're like, this is not a escape that's like done. Oh, okay, we're out of it, you know? I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the people watching are like looking for answers or hoping to find some like change or something. And so I just feel like Spirit is like, it's coming, but it might not be as quick as you think or as you want it to be, or it might not be as easy as you want it to be. You're gonna have to, I feel like we're still in the snowstorm, wandering around, trying to find shelter, right? We're not fully out of it just yet. So there's still more that needs to happen. I also feel like Spirit is saying, like, get rid of this mentality of, like, when am I going to be done suffering? Like, that kind of mentality. Yeah. In a lot of spiritual teachings, they say, like, do not focus on what you're lacking or what you don't want. Focus on what you want and what you're calling in. Like, in ancient cultures, it's, like, sort of sacrilegious to say, like, I'm sick. In ancient cultures, they say, don't say I'm sick, say I'm healing, I'm getting better. Yeah. It's this sort of like ownership of the identity of like, if I'm sick, then I'm always going to be sick, and I'm inviting in the sick energy to be here. But if I say I'm healing, then I'm saying that I'm getting better, and I'm telling my body I'm moving towards something better.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like, indigenous wisdom says like that sickness is basically unalignment, right? It's a disharmony in the body, but the body is always doing what it can to come back into harmony, to come back into balance. But it is ultimately our choice, which is the mental piece here, to give the body aligned tools or to have the skill set within the mental framework to be like, I'm not available for this, or this is what I'm available for. But there's a stubbornness with this card.
Yes, that's why I feel like they're like, you need to hear this again.
It's the first decan of Taurus. Yeah. A decan ruled by Mercury, which is the mental energy in relation to the Taurus themes of the stubbornness, the bull. That's why these figures feel like, oh, I need to stay out here and I need to suffer.
Yes. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what I want, so I'm not going to choose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're wondering, who's going to save me? When is this over? It's you. You need to get involved. Maybe you're not, going to be the one that like arrests Donald Trump or something, right? But what are you doing that's getting you out of this kind of like, I'm suffering. I don't have shelter from the storm. I don't get, to feel safe or secure or have my needs met. Like, you need to move out of that mentality. And what can I do within my power to shift that, right? One phone call to a government official, or one, protest, or one post. Like, all of these can add up to big things.
Yeah, because that's a mind that is aligned with the value system. So if the mental energy is attuned to a system that says I'm unworthy, then it's going to keep presenting these challenges in the reality. But if the mental system is I am worthy, I am deserving, and then it's like, oh look, comfort, warmth, right there, there.
Maybe the answer is there, but you're not seeing it, right? Because you don't believe that you have it, and you don't get it, And so it's like
Taurus can bring up a lot of those themes around worthiness and deservingness
and we have Uranus in Taurus, like ending. It's like these last cycle lesson pieces. So we're probably having some pieces around stability coming up and security. And my God, what's going on in our nation is bringing up security and stability, and the world is going
on. Soul. Like that's really what this card is. It's the dark night of the soul, and we're still in it collectively.
Yeah. It's going to take some time. So you need to start, you can't wait for collective liberation to liberate you. You have to liberate yourself in every way, shape, or form that you're possibly able to and can have the capacity for, because that's what adds up to collective liberation.
Yes. And you can, like when you're saying don't wait for other people, I also think it's important to understand Taurus does embody the medicine of patience. Like it has the Taurus theme. So it's also about cultivating the patience with yourself, because this isn't meant to be a fast process. Taurus moves very slowly.
That's what I said in the beginning.
So it's like not waiting for the external, but it is about turning that patience for yourself inward, around the...
That's when like one thing at a time is important. It makes a difference. If you're not there yet, if it's not fixed yet, it's okay. You're building something better. Your mindset is focused on it's shifting, it's better, it's changing. Then that's what's going to happen. But if you keep focusing on it's negative, it sucks, it's restrictive, that's what's going to keep happening, right? I've been using this a lot in my therapy as well. When your brain is just a really smart machine, and if you tell it to focus on something and to look for something, it will. So it's like whenever you want to buy a new car, let's say you want to buy like a Subaru, all of a sudden you see thousands of Subarus around. You're like, damn, everybody be driving a Subaru. I didn't know this. It's just because your brain is saying, look for new car. Think about car. And now it's seeing all that reflection. It's giving you back that, see, look, car. Same thing when you look for a new place to live. All of a sudden you see for rent signs everywhere. You're like, were there really this many like places that were for rent around me? Yes. Your brain was filtering it out because it wasn't necessary. You didn't need to look for a home before. Now you do. So now your brain is like, for rent signs. I'll show you all the for rent signs. So it's like, if you know your brain works this way, like you need to work with it and train it to look for the positive, to look for what you want more of in your life, right?
That's so beautiful, because one of the angelic frequencies that is associated with this card, which we'll tell you more about in the mystery school, because I don't want to give all the mysteries here, but one of the angels related to this card is all about divine blessings and what that means to attune your mind to receiving those blessings.
So it's like, if you want to keep focusing on the suffering, your brain is going to be like, okay, cool, I'll just keep showing you all the suffering, keep showing you all the things that could be perceived as suffering in your life. But if you say, I want to focus on the safety, the security, the growth, the happiness, whatever it is that you want, then your brain's going to be like, okay, I'll show you all those things too that can mirror that back. And it's not to say that you won't have any suffering anymore, but it's like, then your brain and your body doesn't take it as such a large piece. It doesn't become your identity. It's like, okay, something shitty happened, whatever. But largely, I feel blessed. I feel positive. That's how I choose to look at life. So this is just like, I'll just move past this.
It's just a thing. Perception. That's the mental energy.
Yeah, that's a great place to be in, where it's like, you know, that meme where it shows the guy on the bus or the train, and it's like one side is like the rock and it's sad, and the other side is like positive. It's all the same. That's what that's illustrating. It's all the same. It's just your perspective. So I think with this 5 of Pentacles, it's like, I just feel like there's still a bridging of the gap of the perspective that needs to happen. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Jinx?
Yeah, so interesting that card resurfaced, because
it was like stuck in my hand when I was shuffling.
I've been feeling that like collective dark night of the soul moment, because it is so intense. And like I shared earlier on this podcast, I've been in so much grief and heartbreak about everything that's happening. Yeah,
it's gonna keep coming, right? It's gonna keep happening. They want you to be maxed out, overwhelmed, checked out, disassociated, in fear, afraid to make a change. That's how they've done it. It's just now that we've uprooted the lies and the facades, they're just like, fine, whatever, we'll take the mask off too, and we'll just be fucking outwardly garbage to you. So you really just gotta find your way through.
Yeah. And Taurus says, trust your body with that. Trust your senses as you're moving through.
Yeah. And that's why it's great that we have Aries energy right now, because Aries is like no stranger to challenge. Oh, you want me to fail? Fuck you. You want all of us to fucking just shut up and be quiet? Absolutely. That's fuck not.
That's what I mean by Saturn and Aries. You souls, you are really showing up as the leaders.
My whole childhood, my mom was like, be this, do this. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it in spite of you.
It's such an Aries thing.
My Aries.
It's like learning the hard way, and then I know this is a really big wounding that I have, which is such Aries energy, where I can get on the hyper independence thing of like, I'll do it myself, like just not wanting to ask for help or even admit that I need help.
Yeah, 100%. I have that too. Well, not so much anymore, but I did have that.
And maybe that's also like a Saturn and Aries thing that y'all are learning, like the balance between independence.
Well, that's the structure, right?
It's
like, can I serve myself in this structure, or do I need to call in someone else to support me and be that structure or help me implement that structure?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Aries energy is such a strong warrior, and I think for a while my consciousness felt like, well, if I ask for help or support, like
you're
weak.
That
means I'm weak, which is like, I don't want to show weakness.
You failed as a warrior.
And that's just bullshit.
But a warrior, you could be a gladiator or you could be a general with a whole army, right? Yeah. Like, the warrior seldom fights alone.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the thing that I feel like Aries medicine needs to remember, is that courage isn't just for the self, it's for the betterment of society as the leader, which Aries is.
Yeah. That's Frankie. All right.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for setting the circle with us. Join our Celestial Circle Mystery School.
Write us questions. Free,
the first circle, like, why not? And enter our giveaway.
Yeah! And we'll see you in April.
Yay! See you in April.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Celestial Circle podcast. We are eternally grateful to have you in our cosmic community.
Make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen.
That way you'll be updated whenever new episodes drop.
Please leave us a review and share with your friends so that our circle grows.
The circle is now closed.
Bye!